You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Apparently, everything that I said in the last 10 minutes, nobody heard. So let's just reset as to where we are. This is Prairie View, Texas. This is the Dallas Xforia Giants against the Houston Hurricanes. Houston Hurricanes winning the toss, choosing to have a bowl. Usman Shinwari, express pace, left-hander, bowling over the wicket to the right-handed Gaurav Bajaj. Chaitanya Bishnoi is the non-striker. Umpire Myron James is in standing at the non-striker's end. Umpire Sadiq Kolja is at square leg. Here's Usman Shinwari again. What a great delivery. That, again, is what the right-hander is going to fear the most coming from Usman Shinwari. That angle that is created when he goes over the wicket, slanting the ball across, and that is going to keep the keeper, Lahiri Malanta, interested, is going to keep the slip fielder. A second ago from the first ball, you saw two slip fielders. That was Joshua and Matthew Trump. And I would suspect that you'd keep at least one slip and likely both, at least for the first couple of deliveries here from Usman Shinwari. Very, very good in terms of being able to angle the ball across. They've gotten rid of one of the slips, so it's just now Joshua Trump at first slip. But I think he's going to be very important. Look at that ball again. This is exactly what you're trying to do as a left-arm fast bowler. Slanting the ball across. And he's going to be, I think, threatening that outside edge. The Dallas Xforia Giants again, opening the batting with Gaurav Bajaj and Chaitanya Bishnoi. Chaitanya Bishnoi is a left-handed batter, left-handed top-order batter and a left-arm orthodox spinner. Gaurav Bajaj is a right-handed batter. Probably you'd think that Chaitanya Bishnoi is the more classical in terms of being an opener. Gaurav Bajaj can also, though maybe not quite as classical, but can score quickly and can hit big. So it'll be an interesting matchup here. This is the fourth ball of the first over, and this is played into the leg side. One of two fielders outside the circle allowed at this stage is down at square leg. And so a single there for the fourth ball of the over. Usman Shinwari, very, very fast. I've said it a number of times already, but expect to see him come in and hit the deck hard. Can bowl a lethal short delivery. He is about the height of, and I might be aging myself with this comment, Malcolm Marshall. Old guys like me remember Malcolm Marshall, around 5'9", but that short ball is skiddy and it comes onto you very quickly. And so those can sometimes be very difficult to negotiate. And it will be interesting to see if he chooses to go that direction. So now just one slip again. This time the slip fielder is going to be obviously for the left-handers on the other side of your screen. So Usman Shinwari doesn't necessarily swing the ball a lot, but if there is any swing, it would be into the right-handers and away from the left-handers. So not surprising that he's keeping that slip fielder there. Fifth ball of the over here. Good ball. That's the typical ball that you'd expect to see from an Usman Shinwari. Hits the deck hard and has the opening batter, Chaitanya Bishnoi, up on his toes, looking to see if he can negotiate conditions here. Again, very cloudy, good hard pitch. So the groundskeepers here at the Prairie View Cricket Complex have really done an excellent job in preparing this wicket. It's very hard, it's very grassy, but it's sort of an old grass. So you can expect some lateral movement. The pace bowlers will enjoy bowling on it, but it is hard, and if you bend your back as you'd expect from Usman Shinwari, you definitely can get results. This is the last ball here for over number one. Full and driven back to the bowler himself. Excellent first over, 3 runs coming from it. End of one, 3 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
And so going into second over here, Sanchit Sandhu is your bowler. Couple of deliveries into over number 2. Both deliveries have been wides down the leg side, and so Sanchit Sandhu is going to have to fix his line. Bowling now to Gaurav Bajaj. Still a little maybe too straight for me, but at least this one is not wide. It's helped into the backward square leg area, and Gaurav Bajaj is able to get down to the other end. Just an easy single that time. You get the sense that this pair is taking a little bit of time to see what the ball is doing. Again, very cloudy conditions, so you can expect that there will be some movement. Pace bowlers like this type of environment. You want to come in when there's clouds around Houston, at least the Houston area where Prairie View is ostensibly a part of, is relatively humid, and so that humidity, overcast, cloudy conditions, you tend to see the ball swing a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see if the opening bowlers can take advantage of that. Now this is going to be the left-hander on strike, and Sandhu will be swinging it into the left-hander. In fact, that one did not swing at all. Just went on with the arm, with that angle that we always talk about. Most batters don't like to see the ball going across them. And he looked to play that big cut shot. Chaitanya Bishnoi wasn't able to get any bat on it. But you've gotten off to a relatively sedate start. Chaitanya Bishnoi not yet off the mark. 3 balls faced. Here he is again. Short. Skies it. It's catchable. There's a man down there in the deep. What a great diving catch. That is excellent. Great catch in the deep. That is Karthik Gatipalli with a really good catch. Came sprinting in. Of course, at this stage of the innings, you can only have 2 men outside the circle. And one of the 2 was in that deep square leg area, and he came running in, really coming laterally to his right. He's a left-hander, so going and taking a catch low on the ground to your right is very difficult for a left-handed fielder, but he pulls it off without much of a fuss. That is great work in the deep. And so the Houston Hurricanes strike first. The Dallas Xforia Giants are 6 for 1. Well, before the match started, we were sort of looking at the lineups and deciding who was going to bat where, and we were essentially of the opinion that this man would have been opening. Well, he's effectively opening because he's in the second over. Akarshit Gomel, one of the top batters in the minor leagues over the last several seasons. 2 seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken, was second in total runs in the minor leagues, and has been the heaviest scorer for the Xforia Giants for a couple of seasons now. Of course, the Giants have only been around for a couple of seasons. But Akarshit Gomel, one of the more dangerous batters that you'll have anywhere in the country. And he's now coming in with his team in a spot of bother. Sanchit Sandhu has taken the wicket already. Here's the first ball. Ooh, look at that movement. That ball slanted in, and there's the outswing that I was referring to. You expect to see that type of swing with the new ball here in Houston. Sanchit Sandhu nailing that delivery that time. That is really good work, and that's exactly what you want to see from your opening fast bowler. Make the best use of the new ball, and the way that you make your best use of the new ball is to make sure that you keep it in the areas full enough that will allow it to swing. Here he is again. Oh, look at that delivery. This one is closer to the stumps. He had to play at that, and it goes past the outside edge again. So from over the wicket, he's slanting the ball in. It's pitching on, at least this one pitches, maybe on off stump, and then curling away. So that absolutely will keep slip fielder interested. That's Joshua Trump, and it will certainly have the wicket keeper ready to snap anything off of that edge. Now you'll see where Joshua Trump is, top left of your screen. He's at a very wide slip position, so he's almost like at a third slip. So he's expecting a thick edge. Last ball, this one down the leg side, a little too straight this time. It's running away down the hill. Won't get all the way to the boundary, doesn't look like. They jog back for the second. That Akarshik Gomel gets off the mark. In fact, they signal leg by, so he's not yet off the mark, but 2 more runs to the total anyway. So, successful over. First one bowled here by Sanchit Sandhu. End of 2, the score is 8 for 1. Eight for 1 is your score. 2 overs in the books. Usman Shinwari now coming back for his second over. Great delivery, bang on target again. Much fuller than he'd ordinarily bowl. Usman Shinwari, I said it earlier, normally likes to come up and hit the deck hard. That hard length, that difficult length for the batters to have to ride the bounce to stay on top of. But this one a lot fuller. Gaurav Bajaj defending it back down the pitch for no run. So maybe it is a little bit early to start looking at projected scores, but in looking at the wicket ahead of the match, my sense was that a score of around 140, 145 would be par. And it will be interesting to see, of course, if weather comes on as we may be expecting, that could change that equation completely. Oh, look at that ball. That's more the Shinwari ball that you'd expect to see. Doesn't swing it, I said that earlier, doesn't swing it much, more raw pace. But on that line and at that length and at that pace, with the ball zipping through to Lahiri Malantha, who takes that ball above his head, that gives you a sense of how well he's bowling. Saw him in yesterday's game, bowled very well as you would expect, took a couple of wickets. And for the most part, my money would be on him being the most difficult of all of the Hurricane bowlers to score off of. Express pace and then the added variety of him being a left-hander. That's always something that you like to see. Oh, there's that ball again. Identical delivery. And again, going right by the outside edge. Both Trump brothers are behind the stumps. Matthew Trump is a little bit wider, and he's out of your picture. Right there, just to the top left of your screen, is Joshua Trump. So he's at a very wide slip position. Matthew Trump is more at a deep gully, and again, you're just out of your screen right now. Can't see him, but with this attack, you're expecting the ball to go in that direction, and both Trump brothers have very good hands. Not surprising that they're both in that position for that type of delivery to be able to get a potential catch. And if it comes in that direction, it will be flying, believe me. So 4 dot balls on the trot here for Usman Shinwari. Opening batters again. Well, the opening batter who started, Gaurav Bajaj, lost his partner, Chaitanya Bishnoi. And this pair now, Akarshik Gomel and Gaurav Bajaj, trying to get to the point where they can start building some sort of momentum. Very early in this partnership, only worth 2 runs. And you have a long way to go here, but only going right now at the rate of 3 runs and over. That's not going to trouble very many sides these days. At some point, you're going to have to pick up scoring, but it's going to be very difficult doing it off of this really express fast bowler. You get a quick single here that was knocked into the offside. Good diving athletic stop at backward point by Ryan Bagani. And so 1 ball remaining now in the second over being bowled by Usman Shinwari, 3rd one overall. And for the first time, Usman Shinwari and Akarshik Gomel will be matched up against each other. This is, for me, essentially one of the battles within the greater war that you're going to expect to see something big happen. A couple of changes being made here. Backward square leg now going into position. That is Kartik Gatapali. And there's a deep third. So you're expecting for the ball to be short. Both fielders outside of the circle are behind square. Not surprising if you see something short here from Usman Shinwari. Short of length, but not on the right line. Going down the leg side for the first time, Usman Shinwari will have to re-bowl his last ball of over number 3. So just for the first time, you've gone above or into double figures here. Partnership, 4 runs, but 2 of those runs make that, 2 of those runs are extras. And a little bit of a lethargic start. My sense, again, is that these opening bowlers for the Houston Hurricanes have done very well limiting the Xforia Giants to a scoring rate of 3.53 halfway through the power play. Played off the back foot. Akash Gomel with a pickup. Quick, strong throw. What a direct hit. Excellent work, but he's going to be punished for it. Direct hit from Ryan Bagani, but that goes away for a couple of overthrows. Sometimes some of the best things that you do in cricket work against you. His accuracy resulted in him direct hitting the stumps at the non-striker's end, but the batter made his ground, and so he was able to run a couple more. So, unfortunate, but 13 runs is what you're looking at after 3. We'll be right back. 13 for 1 is your score. This again, the second game that we're covering here from Prairie View in the 2024 MILC tournament presented by Yash Technologies. Now the sponsor is Anand Milk Union Limited, or AMO. And the official apparel partner is IRA Sportswear. This matchup featuring the Houston Hurricanes won their first game of the season yesterday in dramatic fashion. A game that came down to the last ball, defeating the Lone Star Athletics, and now matching up against the Dallas Xforia Giants, and actually starting out very well. 13 runs on the board, 3 overs bowled. Again, the first 6 overs of the power play. So halfway through the power play, and fewer than 15 runs on the board and a wicket down. So that's a great start with the ball for the Hurricanes. This is now again Sanchit Sandhu bowling his second over. Outside edge, did he take that? Oh my goodness, it went past the diving attempt by Joshua Trump just to his right. Laid out full stretch and not able to get a hand to it. Just for a split second, I thought that he may just have gotten to it, but it goes past that diving, despairing attempt by Joshua Trump. If he can't get to it, you can pretty much guess that nobody else could. And I guess a fortuitous single there from Akash Gomel. An exciting way to start over number 4. And the opening bowlers have been threatening the outside edge of the bats of the top order batters for the Dallas Xforia Giants. And you can expect that will continue because that new ball is still swinging, and you're finding the edge in 2 different ways. Usman Shinwari is doing it through raw pace, and then Sanchit Sandhu is doing it with extra swing. Here we go again. There again, off the outer edge of the bat, and it is in the offside. Usman Shinwari himself at backward point. Not often that you see a fast bowler fielding at backward point, but no run. Good start with the ball again. I keep saying it, but it is so important during the power play overs to limit the scoring. Obviously, you can only have 2 fielders allowed outside the circle, so you have to be very judicious in not only how you bowl, but where you bowl. And as of right now, there's a man at deep square leg in front of us here in the commentators area and deep backward point. Advancing down the track, this time Akashik Gomel. Oh, Ryan Bagani, the man who we just talked about, who was attempting to go right in that same area. And in fact, my apologies, that was Gaurav Bajaj who played that shot. Came skipping down the track, taking on that man in the deep, Ryan Bagani, coming to his left, running away from us here in the commentators area, not quite able to get to it. And that is boundary number 1 on the day. So you get the sense that this pair is starting to feel just a little bit of pressure and wanting to accelerate, wanting to change terms here. Opening bowlers have been essentially dictating things here early in the game, and the Xforia Giants looking to change that equation. So halfway through over number 4, this is the second over being bowled by Sanchez Sandhu, and Gaurav Bajaj wanting to make sure that he gives the bowler something to think about. That charge at him made a difference. This is now in the air. Long run by Ryan Bagani. Again, he's being made to do a lot of work. Only a single, though. And that one, you get the sense that they're trying to do what they can to essentially upset the rhythm of these opening bowlers. And it seems that Gaurav Bajaj is the one who is starting to get more innovative, wanting to take the attack to the bowling side. Akashit Gomel, again, a heavy score, 4 from 5, so he hasn't really gotten started yet. Scoring rate of 80 is probably about half of what he can do on his best day. At his best days, he's striking it around 150, 160. Of course, your scoring rate is essentially the runs that you score divided by the balls that it took for you to get those runs. So the faster you score, obviously, the better it is for your side. Hammered right back to the bowler. Solid strike for no run. 1 ball remaining here in over number 4. So you're now down to less than 100 balls. 97 balls remaining in the innings. It might be kind of counterintuitive to think about it that way, but more importantly, you are down to the last 2 overs and 1 ball in the power play. After that, if scoring was difficult inside the power play, then scoring certainly could be more difficult outside of the power play because you can be more defensive with your field settings. What a great delivery going past the outside edge. Yet again, good close to the over. And even with a little bit of a flourish, it only results in 6 runs having been scored in over number 4. End of 4, 19 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Change in bowling for the first time. Matthew Trump will take the new ball. It's maybe not as new anymore. The ball that is 4 overs old. He'll bowl his first over number 5, coming from the forest end, which is the northern end of the ground here in Prairie View. And all of a sudden, looking up in front of us or above us, I see a lot of blue sky. And that is an excellent thing. Maybe the rains will hold off long enough for us to have a full game here. Matthew Trump, first delivery played into the offside, no run. Matthew Trump will be one of the more exciting young cricketers around. Seam bowler, not express pace, but good enough, gets it thereabouts, and generally is very difficult to score off of. And in addition, in the last couple of seasons has developed a knack for bowling well at the death, and you might have seen that in yesterday's game. Played off the back foot. Oh, direct hit again. Oh, wanted a direct hit. Didn't quite get it. Ryan Bagani. And he himself, Ryan Bagani, has shown an aptitude for fielding expertly at backward point and also on the boundary. So you've seen a lot of him in the field the last couple of days. Back to Matthew Trump, along with his brother, one of the more exciting young cricketers that we'll see. Both can help themselves with the bat. In fact, I may be selling them short when I say that. Short pulled away into the deep. 2 bounces to Karthik Gatipalli deep mid-wicket. So I started saying they both can do more than help themselves with the bat. Joshua Trump probably, I don't think Matthew will be insulted when I say Joshua has appeared to be the more established with the bat. Played in the major leagues this past season. In fact, both Trump brothers were on a couple of major league sides. Joshua featured a little bit more heavily. Matthew Trump, more in the classical all-rounder, while Joshua Trump is more of your top order batter and wicket keeper. But both tremendous assets here for the Houston Hurricanes. A bit of width offered, driven into the extra cover area, no run. Oh, direct hit. That was a bullet throw from Saif Badar, and he hit the middle stump from a 45-degree angle from 30 yards away. That is expert work. That is absolutely brilliant. And that does a couple of things. Number one, it tells the fielder, if we're going to be looking to run quick singles, we may not want to try to take that guy on. And then number two, it just energizes the others in the field. It energizes the teammates to see that the captain can come in and dictate terms. Essentially, it's a really meaningless in terms of statistics, but it sets the tone for a good fielding side. This is a little bit too wide. We'll have to re-bowl this one. That was a brilliant piece of fielding and just an absolute bullet throw. And observing them warming up ahead of the game before it was starting. The fielders or the players are in the field warming up. And the throws that were coming back into Coach Sushil Nadkarni from the boundary, one of which was being thrown by Saif Badar. He absolutely has a bullet arm and throws that ball exceptionally hard. Really strong arm. In the meantime, a very good over on the way here for Matthew Trump. Just 1 run off the bat and 1 wide, so 2 runs already. But this is the last ball coming up here in over number 5. So really good work that you're seeing from the young all-rounder. Originally from South Africa, the Trump brothers, now living in Austin, Texas. Last ball coming up over number 5. A little bit of width, played away into the offside. No run there. Excellent work. That is cleaned up by Mukhtar Ahmed. Excellent first over by Matthew Trump. And at the end of 5, the score is 21 for 1. Minor League Cricket 2024, presented by Yash Technologies. By the way, you can follow us on all of the social media channels at MILC Cricket, or at MIL Cricket, apologies. This is going to be the last over of the power play, and it will be bowled by Sanchit Sandhu, who will be bowling his 3rd. 2 overs already, 1 for 9. Excellent bowling. Usman Shinwari has 2 overs remaining in his back pocket. Bowling the 3rd one here for Sanchit Sandhu. Again, big drive going by the outside edge. And I know you're seeing the swing. And this position from where you are seeing this game, right over the bowler's arm, you can see how the ball curls away to the top left of your screen. So that gives you a sense of how he's swinging it when he bowls. So pay attention to that, because it becomes very difficult to line him up because of how well the ball is moving. So here he is again. This one a little bit shorter. So you're not going to get swing from that angle. You're certainly not going to get swing when you're dropping it halfway down. And all of a sudden, Gaurav Bajaj helps himself to 4 runs. So you're in the with the new ball, Sanchit Sandhu, for the expressed reason that you can swing it. But when you pitch it halfway down, you're not allowing the ball to swing, and then you're not necessarily quick enough to trouble top order batters at that pace. So my advice, he's not asking me for my advice, but I would think he'd want to be pitching that ball up fuller and get Joshua Trump, who is at the top left of his screen, into action. That's a better length, but the line is a little too straight. Riding it down to backward square leg for a single. Gaurav Bajaj, 15 from 18, make that after that single, 16 from 19. Akarshit Gomel with an uncharacteristically slow start, 4 from 10. The partnership, however, is now worth 20, so it's starting to build just a little bit. And so you're starting to see where they may be able to get the sense that, okay, we've done enough to see off the new ball bowlers. At least one of the new ball bowlers is still in action now, but the ball is a little bit older, so maybe it's not quite swinging just as much. And it may be that after they've been together now for long enough to have put on 20 runs between themselves or between them, they may start thinking about how they accelerate from here. The scoring rate, 4.73. And this is, again, you're into the power play, the last 3 deliveries of the power play. So now you can probably start looking at projections. Might need a bat change here. I think that's what the delay is about. So talking about projections, current run rate, 4.73. That projects to a score of 95. Do you want more than 95 runs? You absolutely do. But the question then becomes, how much can you accelerate? If you score from here at the rate of 6 and over, run a ball the rest of the way gets you to 113. And as I said earlier, when I looked at the pitch, and this is not gospel by any means, but I was thinking that 140 would be more of a potential target in terms of what you can expect for the team batting first. 8 and over from here gets you to 142. So you'd have to think with 9 wickets in hand, certainly a lot of batting to come. You have the captain, Harmeet Singh. You have Shubham Ranjane. You have a fair amount of batting still to come. And it's the type of attack or the type of side that can take the attack to the opposition. So I would expect that with 9 wickets in hand, you're probably not necessarily looking to do a run a ball the rest of the way. You're looking to accelerate past that. And again, I think 140 would be something that you'd be looking at. So 8 runs and over or so gets you to about 140. Short of length again, played into the offside. Just a single. So now down to the last 2 balls, after which you can spread your field a little bit. I've always said this, if you think of this as a boxing match, I think the first several rounds here would have gone to the Houston Hurricanes. But let's just say it's 6 rounds of a 20-round fight. There are no such thing as a 20-round fight in boxing, but just for purposes of keeping the analogy going, let's just say there's a long way to go to finish the activity here on the field. Guided to backward square leg that time for a single. So 1 ball remaining here in your power play. The Dallas Xforia Giants, having been inserted into bat by the Houston Hurricanes, are showing some signs that they want to get going, but the overall run rate, 4.8, would mean that they'd have to accelerate plenty beyond where they are right now. Last ball of the power play coming up. Last ball of over number 3 for Sanchit Sandhu. And he'll be bowling to Akarshit Gomel, who is still, again, maybe in second gear, 5 from 11. But he can be dangerous when he gets going. Let's see what he does here. Last ball. Hammered away into the deep. There's a Kartik Gatapali out there in the deep. Good work in the deep. A deep backward point. And he does cut that off. So single closes things out in over number 6. 8 runs coming from the over. 26 from the last 5. But the power play itself yields 29 runs. They'll want more than that. End of 6. 29 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
$29-1 is your score. The Dallas Xforia Giants here in the Prairie View Cricket Complex have gotten off to a less than ideal start, gotten all the way through the power play with only 29 runs on the board. For context, in the power play yesterday when Houston batted, they batted first. At the end of the power play, they had exactly twice the amount of runs that the Dallas Xforia Giants now have. They had 58 at the end of the power play yesterday. So that gives you a sense of what the conditions are like and what they can do if you're getting off to a good start or if you have the bowling that allows you to get away. But the bowling so far has been excellent. Everyone who's bowled for the Hurricanes has been successful. Okay, that goes big, and that is the commentator's curse of the day. He absolutely plants his front foot, Akarshik Gomel, and goes down the ground. Thought that would have gone for 6, but it landed just inside the ropes, straight down the ground, but a brilliant strike for Akarshik Gomel. And maybe he has gotten the memo that it's time to start accelerating because you saw a bat change. You saw where a flurry of activity where they brought 2 or 3 or 4 bats to the crease. I think Akarshik Gomel has found one that he likes. So looking to get started now and wanting to make sure that with the momentum shift, even with the change in field, you're outside of the power play, but it gives you the opportunity to score some runs. Now Matthew Trump may want to pull his length back just a little bit. That last one was too full. And this play is played away through the offside. This may be 4 more. No, Usman Shinwari coming around from deep point. Does enough to cut this one off. So a couple more runs, though. And so Akarshik Gomel, earlier I said he was in second gear. He may be shifting through the gears now, for those of you who can drive a stick shift. But to the extent that you're now outside of the power play, there is more protection in the deep. Long on, long off, deep square leg, and deep point are all in position. And there goes Akarshik Gomel again, driven this time to long on, long off, my apologies. Saif Badar. There's that bullet throw we talked about earlier. So the first 3 balls of over number 7, very, very productive. 7 runs coming from the first 3 deliveries. And Akarshik Gomel is appearing to be in the type of mood that will help them get through this passage of play and then set things up. What you're trying to do if you are the Xforia Giants is make sure that the bombers who come down the order, and this is played away into the deep, should just be a single. When I say the bombers, I'm referring to Shubham Ranjane. I'm referring to the captain, Harmeet Singh. They absolutely can play with freedom if this pair sets the table for them. What I mean by that is that you can keep scoring from here at the rate of maybe 6, 7 runs and over. If you get through, let's say, the 11, 12, 13 over mark with wickets in hand, then you certainly can accelerate towards the back end. And this is slapped away square, coming from backward, square leg. Oh, wanted a second run there, but that was good work to cut off the opportunity for that second run. And so I think this pair will be happy with the way that things are going right now. The partnership is building. It's up to 32. And 1 ball remaining here in over number 7 puts you in a position where you've gotten to the point. You know, this pair came together after 3 deliveries in over number 2. And that is stroked into the extra cover area. Saif Badar, again, has a lot of work to do in that area. That bullet throw comes in from the deep. But again, a very productive over for the Dallas Xforia Giants. 10 runs coming from it. More along the lines of what you'd expect to see from them. End of 8. Make that end of 7. The score is 39-1. So for the first time today, we'll have spin introduced into the attack. That man at the bottom of your screen is Akhilesh Bodagam. And if you were a member of the opposition team and you saw him warming up ahead of the game, you would have thought that he's a pace bowler. About 6'5", built like the stereotypical pace bowler. But he is a spinner, and what he does well at that height is generate tremendous bounce. So he can be very difficult to score off of. Played down the ground here. Gaurav Bajaj looking to see how he can sort of match the tempo that is right now being set by his partner, Akarshik Gomel. Akhilesh Bodagam is a very smart bowler, and this is driven down the ground. A lot of work in the deep, sliding stop. Good work by Ryan Bagan, it appears. 2 more runs. So starting out with a little bit of spin and wanting to make sure that they keep the scoreboard ticking. I mentioned it earlier. I think they'd be comfortable at this stage of the innings with just getting through overs where you're getting, 6, 7, 8 runs and over. That would be fine for them from this stage. Going down the leg side, I think umpire Sadiq Koja having nothing to do with that appeal. It was a very, I would think, ambitious appeal. Nothing going for the delivery, or at least for the direction of that delivery. Headed well down the leg side. Skied. Where is this gone? It went all the way for 6, did it? Yep, all the way for 6. Over extra cover. That is one of the favorite shots that you will see Akarshik Gomel play. And I will tell you that he is extremely dangerous. I've said it a couple of times already. That type of shot is a typical shot for him because he likes the ball in such a way that allows him to free his arms. And that was short, and it was certainly a hittable ball, and he cashed in. That's a better delivery, and it's a better delivery because of the line of that ball. It was on off stump. The previous delivery that got hit for 6 was a little bit too wide, and so he helped himself, Akarshik Gomel, to his first 6 and the first 6 of the innings. But I tell you what, you've gotten to the stage now where the scoring rate is picking up. Good ball, absolutely brilliant. Right there is where Akhilesh Bodagam wants to be. That is a single. That did not take a single there. In fact, that is the last ball of over number 8. And at the end of 8, the score is 49 for 1. Continuing with the double spin attack. This is the left arm orthodox of Kartik Gatepali. Has a chance. First ball, and it is taken by the captain. 1 delivery, 1 wicket. And how big a wicket is this? That is the wicket of Akarshik Gomel. The left arm spinner is doing what you'd exactly want from him. He found the outside edge of Akarshik Gomel's bat. And again, we talked about this earlier. With the orthodox spin, the left arm spinner is spinning the ball away from the right-handed batter. And so that big drive that should have gone straight down the ground came off the outer edge of the bat and skied in the air toward extra cover. The captain had a little bit of a hard time because you might have seen him holding his left hand sort of blocking the sun, which again, the outfield is bathed in sunlight now. And so he was essentially keeping the sun out of his face, but did well enough there to secure a pretty straightforward catch after you've already made sure that the sun wasn't going to be a factor. So a big wicket. Akarshik Gomel was looking very dangerous. 23 from 21, was just starting to shift through the gears. I've said it a couple times already. But his dismissal means that you're now further into the lineup or further into the batting order. This is now going to be Naushad Sheikh, who's coming to the wicket. And he's coming to the wicket because of a brilliant piece of bowling by the left-arm orthodox of Karthik Gatapali. So second wicket down. And again, the new batter is going to be Naushad Sheikh. Going on the attack now, the Houston Hurricanes slip fielder in position. That's Ryan Bagani. Oh, look at this. Appeal for and leg before not given from that angle. Left arm around the wicket, slanting down. I believe that is missing leg. I'd want to see that again to make sure. But from that angle, on that line, and if you see where the keeper was, he was going down the leg side. So I think that's a fair decision by umpire Myron James. Next delivery from Karthik Gatapale. Similar delivery, but this time he gets bat onto it, sweeps it away into the deep fine leg in position, and a couple of runs. So he gets off the mark here, Naushad Sheikh, with a couple, but generally a good over so far, being bowled by Karthik Gatapale. So I've seen him bowl one first delivery that took a wicket. Second delivery was a dot, and then swept behind square for a couple. That's a better line for him. Played into the offside, just a single though. And so now they'll have to rebuild here. This partnership will want to at least try to copy what was done by the partnership before them. Gaurav Bajaj and Akarshik Gomel put on 43 for the second wicket. And so this partnership now in its infancy. 3 runs already to it. Wanted to run there. Don't think they're going to get it. And so, by the way, we didn't acknowledge when the 50 came up. They would have wanted for the pair of Akarshik Gomel and Gaurav Bajaj to bat deeper into the innings, I suspect. But still, plenty of wickets to come and a whole lot of batting to come. Fires this one through, my goodness, picked up by the bowler, fires it back to the keeper. Almost had a bit of a run out there, but no harm, no foul, as they say in basketball. That is the end of a very good first over by Karthik Gatapale. End of 9, 52 for 2.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Second over being bowled here from the tall off spinner Achilles Bodogum. This is over number 10 underway. And Achilles Bodogum's first over went for 10 runs. He'd like to bring that down just a little bit. A little bit of bounce that time. It's cut away into the deep. That is Matthew Trump out there at deep point. Just a single. So you're getting to the point in the innings where you start thinking about how they're going to construct a viable target. Wanting to whip this one away into the deep. Gaurav Bajaj missing out on the cross-batted shot. And I dare say that that would be very uncomfortable, and I'll leave it at that. Let's just say that you don't want to get hit there. Next delivery. Down the ground. Is it going to be catchable? It is catchable, and it is taken. Great catch by Ryan Bagani. It was skied. I have to say that he did not put a lot of effort into that shot, and I think Gaurav Bajaj, you might have just seen him punch himself in the head walking off, because the ball was there to be hit, but it did not go through with a full-blooded shot. He sort of helped the ball down the ground as opposed to committing to a booming drive. And they say sometimes you either keep it down or hit it out, and he really did neither and ended up skying. Relatively simple catch in the deep. Long on in position. Ryan Bagani, we've spoken about him a number of times already. He took a really good sliding catch down low. That is wicket number 3. Partnership only worth 4. And the Xforia Giants are 53 for 3. So new batter is in. It is going to be Shubham Ranjane. I mentioned him a couple of times. You would have seen him playing in the major leagues this past summer. And he's an excellent batter. And I called him specifically, didn't call him, I mentioned his name specifically when I was talking about the batters who could accelerate the scoring later on in the innings. And immediately off the mark, plays this one into the offside. So that partnership did not threaten much. Only worth 4 runs for the 3rd wicket. And all of a sudden, you're going to have to start over here. Nashad Sheikh, joined now by Shubham Ranjane. Couple of singles for the first 2 balls of this partnership, but you might get the sense that they want to see things developing more in a direction that would allow them to set the target going forward. I think 140 or so is what they need to be looking for. End of the over, the score is 54 for 3. Karthik Gadapali back into the attack, bowling his 2nd over now. Took a wicket with his first ball. So now we're into the second half of the innings. Left arm orthodox. Look at that delivery. Curling in, drifting in nicely from the left-hander. What you want to see from him is a left arm orthodox spinner. The ball comes in, pitches, and then leaves. That's exactly what you want to see. And that's exactly the type of delivery that got him a wicket with that first ball that he bowled in over number 9. Now bowling over number 11. Off to a decent start here. And this is now going to be Shubham Ranjane. It will be interesting to me to see when he chooses to attack. This one is fired through more quickly. Cut away into the deep. That is Usman Shinwari. Very strong, powerful arm. Look at that throw from 55 yards away. That is a bullet. It never got above 10 feet in the air and landed right in Lahir Malanta's gloves, right over the stumps. So I said it earlier. Those are the types of things that as a batting side you look at. If you want to decide which bowlers or which fielders you want to take on, I would suggest that Usman Shinwari would not be one of them. This is played now into the short mid-on area. That is Matthew Trump, it appears, who does the cleanup work. Just going back to the bowler here, Karthik Gatapali. He's been a very effective bowler for the Hurricanes for a number of seasons now. But the one thing that you might be able to notice about him, if you've seen him in the past, is that he's lost a lot of weight. He's lost around 20 pounds. So he's a lean, mean bowling machine, if you will. And he's always been a really good bowler. Hesitate here. Fires at the non-strikers. And was it a direct hit? No, not a direct hit. And the ball didn't ricochet far enough away to be able to get additional runs. But Karthik Gatapali, just in chatting with him yesterday, has put a greater emphasis on his fitness. And so if you combine excellent bowling with great work in the outfield and a much more fully fit player, it's not surprising that he's gotten to the point where he has. Quick single here. Akhilesh Bodhagam not able to prevent that single. One ball remaining here in over number 11. Off to a decent start. Looking to make sure that they get the runs ticking over. As of now, the scorecard says 60 for 3. Your partnership is worth 7. But you feel like you can start accelerating from here. This is fired in more quickly, and that's cut away down the hill. That's going to get to the boundary, I think. Ryan Bagani. Oh, my goodness. The ball slows all the way down, and I think he did enough to prevent it from going over the ropes. And I think the umpire, Myron James, is going to want to take a look, but I think he's going to be fine. That is good work. Ryan Bagani did enough to pull that one back. End of the over. The score is 62 for 3. Into over number 12. Akhilesh Bodhagam is bowling his second over. Make that his third over. So his first over went for 10. Second over only went for 3, and he took a wicket. So great start to after he got that first over bowled. Less or gave up more runs in that first over than he would have wanted to, but did well enough to make sure that he pulled things back and took a wicket to boot. So good start for him. A couple of singles here to start over in number 12. Tossed up, played into the onside. That is Naushad Sheikh. Born 15th of October 1991. He has played more than 100 matches across all formats since he made his debut in India 2015. Played first-class cricket, debuted for Maharashtra in the 2016-2017 Ranji Trophy. And so very accomplished player. And you get the sense that this pair at the wicket, one of them would want to be able to bat through and the other one would want to be more adventurous. Based on what I've seen so far, I would imagine that the one who would want to bat through would be exactly Naushad Sheikh. Played down the ground here. Should just be a single. And then Shubham Ranjane, you'd think would want to be more expressive. And then my sense would be after Shubham Ranjane, the captain himself, Harmeet Singh, may be the one who would come in next. And then really look for the scoring rate to be accelerated when that happens. Feigning the delivery there from Akhilesh Bodhagam. One ball remaining still in over number 12. And if you've heard me commentate before, you've probably heard the saying that you double the score after 12 overs, and that gives you a good sense of where you might be after 20. Well, let's see if that holds true. Okay, that's going to be a dead ball. Not exactly sure why, but not sure. In fact, Shubham Ranjane pulling away that time, looking in the background to see if somebody was walking by in front of the side screen. Doesn't appear to have been the case. So not exactly sure why he would have pulled away Shubham Ranjani. But last ball coming up here. Oh, what a great ball. Go attempted stumping. Did he get that dismissal? He did not. But that is a great delivery. Goes past the outer edge. Might consider himself lucky there, Shubham Ranjani. But he lives to fight another day. End of 12, 67 for 3. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take a point of personal privilege to express my condolences to the family of a former teammate of mine here in Houston, Mark Child, a great cricketer, even greater person. And he left us this morning. And condolences to Mark, to his brother David, the rest of his family, to his wife Chris, his son Sylvan, and the rest of the Child family. Know that we love you and we are here for you. Rest in peace, Mark. And going back to the match on the field, that's a hard turn to make, but I had to express that. Going into where we are now, going into the last 8 overs, it's going to be Karthik Gatapale to continue. Skied up the outside edge, got away with that one because he definitely found the outside edge and it just peeled over the top of Saif Badar at backward point. 2 runs to the total, but again, it's the type of ball that took a wicket with the first delivery from Karthik Gatapale. This time it doesn't take a wicket. It gives up 2 runs, but it's the type of delivery that you want from your off spinner or from your left-handed orthodox spinner. This one played into the deep. 2 more runs. So a productive start. And as I said earlier, generally if you look to double the score after 12 is what you'd expect to have for a final score. After 12, the score was 67. So you're looking for something about 134 according to that metric. And that is swept away into the deep. 3 deliveries into over number 13. 3 deliveries into the 3rd over being bowled here by Karthik Gatapale. And I will tell you that it appears as though the spinners are going to take control in this part of the innings. Off the back foot, a lot of work in the deep. Clean pickup, Mukhtar Ahmed, and a good strong throw to the non-striker's end. So it doesn't cost them much. And the spinners have bowled well in tandem, going with an economy rate of about 6, which is what you'd expect. You'll accept that from your spinners. And looking to run this one behind square. Long run for Akhilesh Bodhagam. And he does get there. The outfield is a lot slower than it ordinarily would be here in Prairie View. Mentioned that there has been a fair amount of rain around, and that rain would have made it difficult for the ball to race across the infield. So they get 2 runs here, but they're now looking to where they're looking to accelerate just a little bit. 22-run partnership in progress. Looking to sweep, not getting anything on it. Good ball to close things out in over number 13. 8 runs come from that over. And then the 13, the score is 75 for 3.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Akhilesh Bodhagam back into the attack, and a couple of runs here to start over number 14. So Akhilesh Bodagam is going to be bowling his entire spell on the trot, bowling overs number 8, 10, 12, and now 14. And you're getting to the stage of the innings where the batters are going to start trying to establish dominance. And it's going to be interesting to see how they can keep them quiet. Oh, good ball. Played right back down. The bowler himself feels no run. And so we may start thinking about who has how many overs left and who would come in when and where. Down the leg side, swept away. Quick throw to the striker's end. Not going to be in time. They run through that quick single. So Sanchit Sandhu, who bowled very well, 3 overs, so he has 1 left. Usman Shinwari still has 2 left. So you'd think that those 2 would bowl 18, 19, and 20. Matthew Trump has 2 left, so I would not be surprised to see him bowl 15 and 17. Interesting to think who would bowl number 16. Do you go with Karthik Gatapale? Oh, what happens here? Caught behind. Big slash. Went for the big drive. Really just a nothing shot. Wasn't really there for the type of shot that he was trying to play. And it was a quicker delivery from Akhilesh Bodagam. And he did take advantage of that. Lahiri Milanta is not going to drop that. Snapping up the thin edge. And so that is the end of Nashad Sheikh. 18 from 18. Scoring exactly at a strike rate of 100. But that dismissal does open things up. And the Dallas Xforia Giants, with 1 ball remaining here and 2 balls remaining here in over number 14, are 78 for 4. So 7 to 8 for 4. This for me is an interesting passage of play because the 2 names that I said earlier who would be able to accelerate the scoring, those 2 are at the wicket. Harmeet Singh is the captain. He is in, left-handed batter, and he's very wiry in terms of his build, but he packs a really heavy punch, can hit the ball a mile. And Shubham Ranjani, who is at the non-strikers end, 11 from 11, has not yet really gotten off to a flyer, but I would expect fireworks from both of these batters. Looking to paddle us around the corner, that is Karthik Gatapale at deep backward square leg, who's in the position to clean that up. So immediately getting off the mark here, Captain Harmeet Singh, and the last ball coming up now of Akhilesh Bodagam's spell. Really, really bowled well, 3.5 overs, 2 for 22. And remember, of those 22 runs, 10 came in 1 over, his first over. Great work in the deep there. That is Ryan Bagani, who has had a tremendous amount of work. Saves 2 runs there for his side. Excellent spell for Akhilesh Bodagam. 6 runs coming from that over. His final figures, 4 overs, none for 20, or no maidens, 2 for 24. At the end of 14, the score is 81 for 4. So, Karthik Gatapale is now going to be bowling to Harmeet Singh. Interesting matchup. And this is exactly why. Lofted into the deep, lands in front of the fielder coming around that deep mid-wicket. He'll get 2 runs. And the reason why I thought that this was an interesting matchup, number one, it's the last over being bowled by Karthik Gatapale. So I said it earlier, I thought that they would go to him to bowl his last over. But interestingly, he is bowling to the left-handed Harmeet Singh. And when the left-handed orthodox bowler is bowling to the right-handers, he turns it away from them. But Harmeet Singh wants it coming into him, and that is why. That's exactly what the point was that I was trying to get to, but he beat me to it. That ball is turning into the left-handed hitter, and Harmeet Singh is a very big hitter of the cricket ball. I said it earlier, he's not very big physically, but he's absolutely strong and packs a huge punch, times it beautifully, and with the ball turning into him, you can expect that can be the result. He will target the onside, the leg side, in other words. He will be hitting to the left of your screen as you see him now. So the first ball went in that direction, only got 2 runs. The next one clears the ropes for a 6, his first 6 of the day. And I'm expecting to see plenty of that in this over. He's not at all shy going for those types of shots. And Karthik Gatapale is going to have to be very careful here. Tries it again, gets it square, and a diving attempt. Look at Ryan Bagani saved 2 runs for his side. That is excellent work. Diving to his right and stopping that one from going over the rope at square leg. Happened right in front of us. Looks like that ball got to within a foot of going over the ropes. But one short. There's a signal from umpire Myron James. So he actually saves 3 runs for his side. So just to explain what happened there, in their haste to get back for that second run, it appears as though Harmeet Singh himself did not properly ground his bat behind the crease at the non-striker's end. So even though they physically ran 2 runs, only 1 of those would have counted. And so instead of going for 4, that ends up just being a very long single. So that overly emphasizes how important it was for Ryan Bagani to have done what he just did. Next delivery, looking to sweep this, going down the leg side though. So they give that 1 run right back. And still 3 balls remaining here in over number 15. For me, a pivotal over. And it's going to be interesting to see how Harmeet Singh goes from here. Big hit again. And it's going to be running away down the hill. And this will reach the boundary. So plenty of runs coming from the bat of Harmeet Singh in this over. 14 already from the over with 2 balls still to come. And not surprising that this is exactly what you have happen when a left-arm orthodox bowler bowls to a big left-handed hitter. You can expect him to score very heavily on the leg side. 2 balls remaining. And remember, with the wide that was just bowled, he ordinarily would have just had 1 ball left, but he will have to bowl that extra ball. So let's see what happens off of the last ball of this over, assuming that he doesn't bowl any more extras, because that last ball would be an extra delivery that he would not have had to bowl had he not delivered a wide. Next ball. Oh, I like what he did there. Tossed it very wide. And Harmeet Singh had to fetch that one from well outside the line of off stump. So that is smart bowling by Karthik Gatapale. Now, this ball is the extra ball that I'm talking about. He's already bowled 6. But of those 6, 5 were legal, 1 was not. 1 was wide. So this is the additional ball that he will have to bowl that he would not have had to bowl had he not bowled the wide. Here it is. And it's inconsequential because it's just dropped into the offside. You scramble through for a single. 16 runs coming from that over, though. The productive one, the most productive one of the innings so far. End of over number 15, 97 for 4. Okay, going into the last 30 balls, the last 5 overs, I would suspect that the man who now has the ball in his hands and will be running in from the highway end, I will suspect that he will bowl out here. I would not be surprised to see him bowl overs 16 and 18. Then you would also think that Usman Shinwari has 2 left, so maybe he bowls 17 and 19. And Sanchit Sandhu has 1 left. Expect him to bowl possibly the last over. So some combination of those 3 or some permutation of overs coming from those 3 is what I'd expect to happen the rest of the way. Good delivery here from Matthew Trump. Almost an awkward defended shot there by Shubham Ranjan, not able to get anything on it. So a dot ball starts over number 16. So from that standpoint, you want to be as frugal as you can at this stage of the innings. You would absolutely accept singles if you can get them. But I think the bigger issue now is that you just want to reduce the opportunity for them to hit big down the ground or really just hit big anywhere. So what you're trying to do is just keep the ball out of the hitting zone. That time you saw Shubham Ranjan advancing down the track and taking that ball on the half volley. So Matthew Trump is going to have to be careful because both of these batters are going to want to go after him. Partnership now worth 20. 16 of those 20 came in the last over, believe it or not. And here is going to be a difficult matchup. Look where Harmeet Singh is standing. He's standing on off stump. And Matthew Trump is bowling around the wicket. So Matthew Trump is going to expect that Harmeet Singh is going to be hitting to the leg side here. And a big drive and not really getting anything on this. The rehearsed shot is almost always better than the one that was played. A big booming drive. Harmeet Singh wants to go big down the ground. Matthew Trump with that perfect length, keeping the ball just out of the zone where Harmeet Singh wants to hit him. He wants to go down the ground. Absolutely loves to clear that front leg and go in the arc between mid or long on and long off. And let's see what happens here. And this time going down to long off. Long run coming in from a long off is Ryan Bagani. Does well enough to limit the damage to 1 run. So excellent work with the ball. Matthew Trump and his reintroduction to the attack, 4 deliveries and just 2 runs scored. That tells you, number 1, that he's done well so far, but number 2, that increases the urgency for Shubham Ranjane to do something unorthodox here. So I would not be surprised to see something really tricky like that. And he whips it away into the deep, in the air, and look at that great piece of work. Sanchit Sandhu right here in front of us pulls it back from going over the ropes, and they'll get 2, but that was an excellent piece of outfield work in the deep, and he gets congratulations from his partner, opening bowler partner, Usman Shinwari. So 2 runs there. So last ball coming up now, and I said I was expecting him to do something different. That time he shuffled across to the offside to try to access the leg side. See what he does here. This time just helping it into the leg side. They get 1 coming back for the second. Look at that bullet throw. Such a strong arm from Saif Badar, but not even he can prevent 2 runs. But in the context of the portion of the innings where they are, this is an excellent over from Matthew Trump. Just 6 runs coming from it. End of over 16. The score is 103 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So, Usman Shinwari back into the attack. And he recognizes the urgency of the moment. Down to the last 4 overs, I would suspect that Usman Shinwari would bowl 17 and 19. Matthew Trump would bowl his 14th or his 4th over as over number 18 is what I would think. And then the last over to be bowled by Sanchit Sandhu. All of this obviously is me guessing, but I would think that those 3 bowlers would be the ones who would be bowling the rest of the way. So interesting matchup here. This is the irresistible force against the immovable object. This is fire versus fire. Usman Shinwari will be coming in, bowling at around 90 miles an hour, and Harmeet Singh will be looking to swing it, going the same direction or in the opposite direction at the same pace. This is driven down the ground. Strong throw coming in. They'll get a couple of runs. So good start to the over for Harmeet Singh and the Dallas Xforia Giants. Harmeet Singh talked about him being an excellent cricketer all around. He was the first draft pick in the initial or the inaugural Major League draft in Clear Lake last March 19th. 574 runs in the minor leagues and has taken 43 wickets. So brilliant, brilliant all-rounder. Facing up to Shinwari here. Full toss. Whipped away into the deep. Ryan Bagani has a lot of work to do. Has had a lot of work to do. This time, really, Harmeet Singh misses out on that. It was a full toss slanting down the leg side. Usually, you'd expect him to clip that away for more than he got for that run or for that ball. Now into the last 22 deliveries of the innings. The weather, for the most part, has held up. And I think we're going to see an interesting close to this innings. Right now, projected to score 130. They have 106. Remember what I said, doubling the score after 12 should have gotten you to about 134. Let's see how close to that number they get. I think Harmeet Singh and Shubham Ranjane will want to get more than that. But they're up against very good bowling here. Here's Shinwari now bowling to Shubham Ranjane. Scoop shot. Where is that gone? Over the head of the fielder at deep. Fine leg, and it goes away for 4. I will tell you that if you are going to play a scoop shot to a man bowling at 90 miles an hour, that takes some guts. Because that ball, if you play that inaccurately in any way, you get to eat a cricket ball, because that ball would have come off of the top edge of the bat at that same pace. And if you don't get that exactly right, and if your head is in the way, then again, as I said, that's a good way of eating a cricket ball. But a great shot here by Shubham Ranjane. And I think you're going to see that type of innovation from him. Harmeet Singh would be more of the pair to just clear the front leg and swing for the fences. But you can expect shots like that one that you just saw from Shubham Ranjane. So last 3 balls coming up in over number 17. 21 balls remaining in the innings. Partnership now worth 32 runs. And let's see what response you have here from Usman Shinwari. Walking across. Look at this. He walks across, helps it into the leg side. I think you'll see his signal there from umpire Myron James. It is a leg by, but more to the point, you almost had a run out at the non-striker's end, because you saw where there was a little bit of a tangle between the bowler and the batter coming down the crease, and he almost resulted in taking a shy at the stumps. Luckily for himself, Shubham Ranjane, he got home without much fuss. 2 balls remaining. And again, you expect Usman Shinwari to come up and hitting the deck hard. You expect Harmeet Singh to be looking to clear the front leg and swing for the arc between long on and long off. And so I'm expecting something to give in these last 2 balls. Here he is. In the air, catchable. The bowler's calling for it, and he takes it himself. Boy, expecting something to happen indeed, but all he did was sky a catch. A little bit of a mix-up, because you have to think that Sanchit Sandu would have been the one who was more in position to take that catch. But Usman Shinwari wanted it himself. They say bowlers never drop their own catches. And I think you saw evidence of it there. So Harmeet Singh goes. That is a big wicket. Again, he was one of the ones who would have been expected to accelerate the scoring towards the back end of the innings. But he goes caught by Usman Shinwari himself off of his own bowling. So that is the end of the end of Harmeet Singh. 19 from 11 with 1-4 and 1-6. The Xforia Giants are 111 for 5. One ball to go in over number 17. So one ball remaining in over number 17. The new batter is Harish Kakani. Has been dismissed courtesy of a good piece of bowling from Usman Shinwari. And here he is coming in now to bowl the last ball. Dropping this one down to deep third and not able to get anything more than a single for it. So an excellent over comes to an end from Usman Shinwari. Single off that last ball. So 8 runs score from the over, make that 9 run score from the over. But he does take a wicket. End of 18, make that end of 17. The score is 112 for 5. So Matthew Trump, as I expected, will be bowling over number 18. This is his last over. 3 overs already, none for 18. So he's gone at exactly a run a ball. And he's now bowling to Harish Kakani. Skied down the ground, catchable. Ryan Bagani, can he do it again? You have got to be kidding, Ryan Bagani. That is an excellent piece of work. Sprinting in and diving and taking that inches off the turf. Wicket number 6. What a brilliant, brilliant piece of work in the deep by the young all-rounder from right here in Houston. And that is the end of Harish Kakani. Faces 2 deliveries, and he is gone. And that is a big, big wicket. All of a sudden, 134 is looking like a long way away. 6 wickets are down. New batter coming in now is going to be Raymond Dar, and he has work to do. Here we go. Matthew Trump. Remandar is the new batter and fends this into the offside. Cannot get anything for that. So what an absolutely brilliant passage of play this is for the Houston Hurricanes. For a while there, the Dallas Xforia Giants looked to be in the position where they're accelerating toward a competitive score. But all of a sudden, you've seen a change in momentum the last couple of overs. Big wickets have fallen. He saw the end of Harmeet Singh. Then that time he saw also the end of his partner. This is played into the offside. Remandar with a good-looking shot. Should just be a single, though. And that is, oh, look at that throw from Karthik Gatipalli right over the stumps. So Harish Kakane is the one who was dismissed. And it is now going to be up to Remandar, who joins Shubham Ranjane, who's been there for a while, hasn't really gotten off to the type of Shubham Ranjane innings that you'd expect. And that's not through any fault of his own. He's definitely not had as much of the strike as his partners have, and only 1-4 to go for his figures so far. This is played into the deep, and that goes away for 4. It happens every time. As soon as I say something, they do the exact opposite. Only 1-4 until that point, but he pulls that one away to deep mid-wicket, and he gets his second 4. And so welcome boundary, that time for the Dallas Xforia Giants. And you get the sense that it is now going to be up to this man, Shubham Ranjane, to take them to something respectable. And so Matthew Trump, last ball of his over, played into the deep. I think you'll get the sense that they will be satisfied with that single, because it means that Shubham Ranjane gets to remain on strike, powering that one away into the deep for a single that takes you to 118. Apologies, 119. And that is the end of over number 18. We'll be right back.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
This is Sky, Remandar in that area, looking to rotate the strike and get runs at the same time. And they scramble through for a couple of runs. Now it's the last ball of the over. 120 for 6 is your score with 2 overs to go. Okay, last 2 overs. Usman Shinwari will be bowling his last over, 120 for 6. If you get 14 runs, you will make a profit out of me. So let's see exactly how you do here. Usman Shinwari bowling now again from the forest end, the northern end of the ground. He's bowled all of his overs from this end. And here he is bowling to Shubham Ranjane. Skied. Who is there? Long run. 2 fielders there, and Joshua Trump takes charge and takes a big catch. How big is that? I will tell you that the man who would have been most likely to go on and create some ruckus toward the back end of this innings would have been Shubham Ranjane. But the express pace of Usman Shinwari means that he only skied a pretty simple catch. 2 men were there. Joshua Trump is one who takes charge and takes the catch, and that is wicket number 7 that goes down. The Dallas Xforia Giants not getting anywhere near the type of close to the innings that they would have wanted. They are 120 for 7. So, Abhinav Chowdhury is the new batter. Ramandar is the senior partner. He only has 3 runs against his name. Usman Shinwari steaming in, going across him, not really looking to get in line that time. Abhinav Chowdhury, you cannot really blame him when a man who's bowling around 90 miles an hour is steaming into bowl at you. And this makes it very difficult to accelerate at the back end of the innings. You're batting with the number 7 and number 9, number 8 and number 9 batters, so you don't expect a whole lot of runs from them. But what you at least want is for them to try to find a way to put bat to ball. It's extremely difficult against this man, but you have to try to do something to get some runs. Oh, sailing past the outside edge. The coaches would tell you to try to get in line. But again, with a bowler bowling at this pace, it becomes very difficult to expect a player who's coming in at number 9 to jump in line to this type of pace. And a quick chat between the two batters at the crease. I would not be surprised if it were, would you please get in line with this ball, because you're fishing far away from your body. That's not necessarily the best way to put bat to ball. But 9 balls remaining. Here is Shinwari again. Oh, that's better. Driven into the short extra cover area. He gets off the mark. Probably more importantly for him, gets off strike. And it's now going to be Remandar, the left-hander. 2 balls remaining. Do they try to get something off of Usman Shinwari, or do they try to just see him off and then try to sort of swing for the fences in over number 20? I don't know that the answer to that question is easy, because it's not exactly easy to score off of Sanchit Sandhu either. But I would have to think that they'd fancy their chances more against Sandhu than they would against Usman Shinwari. Only 2 balls remaining in his spell. 121 for 7 is your score. So, again, the magic number being 134, I don't know that you can get to 134 because you're decelerating horribly here toward the back end of the innings. And here's Shinwari again. Last 2 balls coming up. Ooh, drive thick inside edge, and it goes to the leg side. And a strong, powerful throw coming in. That again is Saif Badar. We've spoken about his arm all day. It shows evidence of it there again. So the last ball coming up here in over number 19. One would believe that Sanchit Sandhu would be warming up to bowl the next over, the final over of the innings. Last 7 balls, the first of which will be bowled here by Usman Shinwari. In other words, he's about to bowl his last ball. And bowling again now to Abhinav Chowdhury. Here's the last ball. Slash and a miss. Cannot get back to ball at all. Usman Shinwari finishes 2 for 18 from his 4 overs. Absolutely brilliant bowling by the spearhead. End of 18. Make that end of 19. Only 2 runs come from over number 19. How brilliant is that? And a wicket. 122 for 7 is your score. Last 6 balls coming up. 122 for 7 is your score. Your batters are Abhinav Chowdhury and Remandar. Abhinav Chowdhury 1 from 4. Remandar 4 from 4. Between them, I would think that they'd want to put together at least a run of ball in this over. At least. Over number 19 only went for 2 runs. Over number 18 went for 8 runs. And a wicket fell in each of the last 2 overs. So it's going to be up to them to try to manufacture a way to get something going here. It's driven into the offside. That is going straight to the captain at extra cover, Saif Badar. So 1 from the first ball of the over. The right-hander is now on strike. So let's see exactly how Sanchit Sandhu is able to attack this batter. Remandar 4 from 4. I'm sorry, 5 from 5. Abhinav Chowdhury 1 from 4. And it's now going to be up to him to put bat to ball. Wasn't keen to get in line against the express pace of Usman Shinwari. Let's see if he does a better job of it here. Last 5 balls coming up. Great Yorker. You cannot bowl a better Yorker than that. That ball is pitching on the popping crease. There is nothing that you can do with that ball. And I saw you saw good evidence of Sanchit Sandhu's skill with bowling at the death. You saw that yesterday in the last over that was bowled against the Lone Star Athletics. And let's see what he does here. 4 balls remaining. This time it's not a Yorker, it becomes a low full toss. Only can get a single off of it though. Down to the last 3, and that deceleration continues. The scoring rate now 6.36. Can you do something, anything to get above 130? Do you have a scoop shot in your repertoire? Short third and fine leg are both inside the circle. Backward square leg also inside the circle. So do you get to the point where you get down and try a scoop shot? No scoop shot coming, but this is played down the ground. Strong throw. Wanted a second run. Did he run him out? He did not run him out. But nothing other than just that single, though. So the last 2 balls coming up. And 130 would be a significant psychological bonus. I don't know that necessarily gets you anywhere close to what you'd want in terms of a target. I would have thought under the conditions that we're playing in, 140 would have been more appropriate, but they want to maximize the utility from these last 2 deliveries. That made a good sound off the bat, but didn't exactly get to where they were going. That is a direct hit at the non-striker's end, and he is gone. You hit that directly middle stump from about 25 yards away. Excellent work in the deep. They wanted to try to steal a bye. Obviously, you don't mind seeing them do that at this stage of the innings. You want to get runs any way you can from the last 2 balls. But a direct hit sees the back of the player, Abhinav Chowdhury, and that is going to be definitely a run out. 1 ball remaining here with 8 wickets down. So you're not expecting to see much from the back end of the innings. Prathamesh Power is going to be coming in at the non-striker's end. And I think you'll see here that they'll try anything to manufacture some runs off of this last ball. So this is a great piece of work from the Houston Hurricanes with the ball. They bowled very well to start the match. Then there was some shift in momentum when the middle overs were on and the Xforia Giants were starting to shift through the gears. But the Houston Hurricanes have roared all the way back, and they have gotten themselves in the position now where with 1 ball remaining, only 125 runs on the board, and it is Remandar who is on strike. And the last ball to be bowled now in this over, in this match, in this innings rather. Scoop shot. I was looking for that a lot earlier. Don't get it here. Shy at the stumps, one end, not in time, and they run through for another. So you get a couple of runs, not a whole lot to write home about, but 127 runs is 127 runs. As they say, runs on the board is what matters. So I don't think the Xforia Giants will be thrilled with their score, but at the same time, the bowlers will feel that they have something to defend. Going through the full scorecard, Chaitanya Bishnoi did not trouble the scorers. Gaurav Bajaj, 20 from 28. Akarshit Gomel, 23 from 21. Naushad Sheikh, 18 from 18. Shubham Ranjan, a 28 from 22. He top scored. Harmeet Singh, 19 from 11. And then single-digit scores the rest of the way. Harsh Kakani, 8. Ramandar, 8. Sorry, Harsh Kakani, 1. Ramandar, 8. and Abhinav Chowdhury 2. Prathamesh Pawar did not face. 8 extras. That is the end of a very well bowled innings by the Houston Hurricanes. So quick break for us, about 10 minutes. And we'll be back to see whether or not the Hurricanes can overhaul that total of 128 is what your target is going to be. We'll be silent for about 10 minutes and we'll be right back. Here he is again. Short, skies it. It's catchable. There's a man down there in the deep. What a great diving catch. That is excellent. Great catch in the deep. That is bowling his second over. Outside edge, did he take that? Oh my goodness. It went past the diving attempt by Joshua Trump. Commentator's area and deep backward point. Advancing down the track this time, Akarshik Gomel. Oh, Ryan Bagani, the man who we just talked about, who was attempting to go right in that same. This one a little bit shorter, so you're not going to get swing from that angle. You're certainly not going to get swing when you're dropping it halfway down. Bowled for the Hurricanes has been successful. Okay, that goes big, and that is the commentator's curse of the day. Or at least for the direction of that delivery. Headed well down the leg side. Skied. Where is this gone? It went all the way for 6, did it? Yep, all the way for 6. Spin attack. This is the left arm orthodox of Kartik Gatepali. Has a chance. First ball, and it is taken by the captain. 1 delivery, 1 wicket. There. Next delivery. Down the ground. Is it going to be catchable? It is catchable, and it is taken. Great catch by Ryan Bagani. Bowl number 16. Do you go with Kartik Gatepali? Oh, what happens here? Caught behind. Big slash. Went for the big drive. The right-handers, he turns it away from them. But Harmeet Singh wants it coming into him, and that is why. That's exactly what the point was that I was trying to get to. Tries it again, gets it square, and a diving attempt. Look at Ryan Bagani, saved 2 runs for his side. Harmeet Singh goes from here. Big hit again, and it's going to be running away down the hill, and this will reach the boundary. See something really tricky like that. And he whips it away into the deep, in the air, and look at that great piece of work. Sanchit Sandhu right here in front of us pulls it back from going over the rope. Bowling to Shubham Ranjane. Scoop shot, where is that gone? Over the head of the fielder at deep. In the air, catchable. The bowler's calling for it, and he takes it himself. Boy, expecting something. Connie. Skied down the ground, catchable. Ryan Bagani, can he do it again? You have got to be kidding, Ryan Bagani. And only 1-4 to go for his figures so far. This is played into the deep, and that goes away for 4. Shubham Ranjane. Skied. Who is there? Long run. 2 fielders there, and Joshua Trump takes charge and takes a big catch. How big is that? That made a good sound off the bat, but didn't exactly get to where they were going. That is a direct hit at the non-striker's end, and he is gone.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Welcome back to the Prairie View Cricket Complex. Earlier, when we started, I talked about the weather. Well, the weather appears to no longer be a factor. Brilliant sunshine, and looking in the direction from where the clouds, or from where the rain was coming earlier, the northeast, it appears to be clear from that direction as well. So I think we are going to have a good, solid chase here without any interruptions for weather. The Houston openers, Lahir Milanta, who is now taking guard, is going to be facing up to Sankirth Batula. The openers are Lahir Milanta and Mukhtar Ahmed. Lahir Milanta, the left-hander, and Mukhtar Ahmed, the right-hander. Both very aggressive. Both want to go after the bowling. And it is the type of total that could potentially be tricky. And what I mean by that is if you're chasing 228, then you know that you have no choice but to go for it from the very beginning. But if you're chasing sort of a middling total like this, it can sometimes lead to a tricky start. This is down the leg side. In fact, not down the leg side. It may have bounced over the top of leg stump. At least that is the way that umpire Myron James has seen it. Lahir Milanta is not happy with that decision, but umpires don't require you agreeing with them to have their calls be effective. So it just ends up being a dot ball. Did he even? Well, we'll see. I believe, yep, that's a dot ball. Here's the second delivery. Played into the leg side now. Just a single here. So off the mark immediately here is Lahir Milanta. So to finish the point I was making, a chase of 128 sort of puts you in the mindset of thinking, you know what, we just need to run a ball. A run a ball takes us home very easily. But if you allow yourself to fall into that mindset and don't bat naturally aggressively, then you might essentially play yourselves into a shell, and that's not something that you'd want to do. This is helped around the corner. Mukhtar Ahmed is not going to play in ones and twos. He's going to take the bowling by the scruff of the neck, and he helps this one going down the leg side for his first four. Not surprising that you see that type of shot from Mukhtar Ahmed. Plays shots all around the ground, loves the ball short, so he can play that shot, that swivel pull around the leg side, loves going over extra cover. So those are really his best scoring options generally. And skied, where is that gone? He wanted to go for the big hit, but not able to get anything on it. Boy, he played that shot like he wanted to hit it into the forest at the forest end, but it ends up being a very loud dot ball. And by the way, apologies from our vantage point here. We have a little bit of trouble tracking the ball, so if I said skied, I meant that he missed it. So 3 balls remaining here in over number 1. Make that 2 balls remaining in over number 1. Looks to smash this one away square, and it's going to go away for 4. Brutal, brutal strike. Mukhtar Ahmed starting off here with some power. 9 runs already from the over. And to the point I was making earlier, if you play within yourself because you're thinking you only need to score a run a ball to win, that can sometimes lead to the scoring rate or the required rate being increased. But Mukhtar Ahmed wants to grab the bowling by the scruff of the neck, wants to take the attack to the batters, and I would not be surprised to see him continue batting in that way. Last ball of over number 1 goes for the big swipe, but this is a little too wide for the liking of umpire Myron James. So you're now up to 10 runs. 118 needed from 115 balls. So that tells you that it's a much easier job now because of the fact that even with the 5 legal balls that have been bowled, they've gotten off to a very positive start here. And Mukhtar Ahmed is looking to continue in that way. Last ball coming up now for Sankirth Batula. Full toss. And it's played square. And it's going to go for a single that brings us to the end of over number 1. 11 runs coming from that over. Another 117 needed from 114 balls. The score is 11 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Going into the second over now, your bowler is going to be Harsh Kakani. Bowling from the highway end, southern end of the ground. So the first over goes for 11 runs. Starts out here, Harsh Kakani, with a dot ball. And so if you wanted to change the conversation, you wanted to make sure that you build pressure, the idea would be to bowl some dot balls. He got away with this. Full toss, going down the leg side, and clipped away. Should have gone for 4. Luckily for the Xforia Giants, it was right to Sankir Batula, who is standing inside the ropes, or inside the circle at backward square leg. Had that missed him, it would have gone all the way to the boundary, but they'll just get a single here. And so one of those totals, as I mentioned, where you don't expect that it would challenge much, but it will look much smaller with these two batters going off the back foot here, running it down the hill. And it goes to that fielder in the deep. So just another single. So a couple of singles from the first 3 balls that are bowled here in over number 2 by Harish Kakani. And we'll see exactly to what extent he can attempt to build pressure. And much of the process of building pressure, as I said earlier, is just seeing how many dot balls he can string together. Here's Kakani again. Finds the outer edge of Mukhtar Ahmed's bat, goes to backward point, no run. So Dallas Xforia Giants playing in their first game of the season. The Houston Hurricanes in their second game, won yesterday in a very close game, won by the margin of 4 runs, if memory serves correctly. And should just now be 2 balls remaining here in the second over. Good ball again. It's a type of delivery that doesn't present very many scoring options, at least early in the innings. Just riding the bounce and getting it down to backward point. So they run through for a single, but I don't know that you mind giving up singles here. What I think you'd want to prefer from the standpoint of the Xforia Giants is to be bowling dot balls. But if you're not bowling dot balls, conceding singles is not the worst thing, because that keeps the required rates up around 6 and over. You don't mind it being there. Some dot balls would make it go up above 7, which is what you want. Good Yorker, bang on target, played down the ground. They run for a quick single. Appeal, overthrows here. So they'll come back for the second. Oh my goodness, look at this. A long overthrow. The Lahiro Milanta had gone well past the stumps and then had to retreat and go back for that second run. So he ended up going about 35 yards on that second run, but they get there without much trouble. So 2 runs coming from from that last ball of over number 2. 15 runs is your score after 2, 15 without loss. 16 without loss.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So changing bowling immediately. Shubham Ranjani, brilliant all-rounder. Talked about him earlier. Saw him with the bats earlier. Now he's featuring with the ball. So immediate change made here by Harmeet Singh, conceding 11 runs in the first over from Sanketh Batula. And Harmeet Singh knows that you don't have a whole lot of runs to play with. So wanting to immediately make sure that he staunches the flow of runs. So he goes to his experienced all-rounder, major leaguer, Shubham Ranjani. Single to backward point, just jogging through, not much trouble there, no risk in that type of an approach. And from what you see at the beginning of this over is that Shubham Ranjani, the senior bowler, the senior all-rounder, will essentially pull things back if needed. He generally is not express pace, but he gets the ball in the right areas. He can bowl during the power play overs. Of course, you're still in the power play here, but he can also bowl at the death. Essentially a brilliant all-round cricketer. Now, he's up against Lahiri Malanta, who likes to be aggressive. He's only faced 4 balls, has 4 runs. And this is played away into the offside. There's a sweeper in the deep backward point. So 3 deliveries. You have 3 runs, or make that 2 runs scored already. You're needing to score at the rate of 6.2 and over, 6.29 to be specific. And so something in and around a run a ball will be more than appropriate at this stage. So no reason to take any risks. But at the same time, you have to make sure that if there's an opportunity for runs, you take them. And look at that. That is what you want to see from Mukhtar Ahmed, who opens up his shoulders and blasts it over wide mid-wicket for the first 6 of the innings. And you don't expect to see Mukhtar Ahmed sit and be dictated too much. And this time he absolutely launches this one in the forest over at deep mid-wicket. So the first 6 of the day, at least from the Hurricane standpoint, Mukhtar Ahmed now moving up to 18 from 11 balls faced, 2 4s and a 6. Lahiri Malanta 5 from 5. And between the two of them, they put on yesterday 58 runs for the first wicket. So that gives you a sense of how well they bat at the top of the innings. But as of right now, you get the sense that they can apply a knockout blow if they bat much deeper into this innings. Not looking to score, or not needing to score very much, and only looking to get something in the range of another 104 runs from the next 104 balls. So the required rate now is exactly 6. A run a ball from here gets you home. Let's see exactly how Shubham Ranjani can affect things from here. Oh, look for the big drive again. Going past the outside edge, a good comeback delivery. And wanting to have a quick chat here with his partner, Mukhtar Ahmed, knowing that you've gotten most of the hard work done in terms of setting the tone. You can set the tone, but it's now going to be up to you to continue pushing on toward your target. Last ball coming up here in over number 3. And bearing in mind, over number 1 went for 11. Over number 2 went for 5. 8 already in this over. So looking to see how they can close this over without much damage. And now a little bit of movement in the field as Shubham Ranjani comes in to bowl that last ball of over number 3. Gave him width, a little bit too wide, so you can see the single or wide there. Second extra, both of which are wides, if memory serves correctly. And so you've gotten to the point again where the required rate is exactly a run a ball. You're scoring at the rate of 8.82 and over. So you're well ahead of the pace there. And just looking at comparisons again, given where both teams were at the respective points of the innings. We'll do that after this ball. Last ball, defended to short extra cover, sprinting in, can't prevent the single. That is the single that takes the total to 26. End of over number 3. We'll look at the comparisons after we get back from the short break. 26 without loss after 3. (26 for 3, or 26 overs, 26 runs after 3 overs is what I mean. At the end of over number 3, the Dallas Xforia Giants had 13 runs. So if you are the Houston Hurricanes, you have exactly doubled the scoring output of the Xforia Giants in the same number of overs. So you're well ahead of the pace. And it's now going to be up to you to pull things back. If you are Harsh Kakani, skied in the air right here toward us, and that goes for 6. That went all the way for 6, lands. You might have just heard that noise. That was the ball banging into the media center. An effortless shot by Mukhtar Ahmed, just an effortless flick. Got that one just a little too straight, Harsh Kakani. And it was put away so absolutely effortlessly. Landed just maybe a half of an inch over the rope. So maybe might have even touched the rope itself, but certainly went all the way for 6. What is the answer here for Harsh Kakani? That line again is wrong. He easily could have gone for another 6 there. Mukhtar Ahmed had more oomph in that shot, if you will. Luckily for him, Harsh Kakani, that thudded into the pad. No real chance for that being given LBW from that angle, but more to the point, he needs to aim at off stump, because that leg stump line, most batters will cash in on those types of deliveries, and Mukhtar Ahmed of all batters is especially severe on those types of loose balls. Full toss, and where's that gone? Lofted down the ground, it went for 6 more. So Mukhtar Ahmed is making, or appears to be making, short work of this target. 38 runs on the board already. You're only 3 deliveries into over number 4. And already the deficit is only 90. You have another 99 balls to face and only 90 runs to get. So the required rate now well under a run a ball, 5.45 to be specific. And Mukhtar Ahmed and Lahir Milanta are scoring at the rate of 10.86. Next delivery, going down the leg side. Boy, did he get away with that one, because that also, with that line going down the leg side, could easily have been more runs. Mukhtar Ahmed not getting the full utility out of that shot that he wanted to. And that dot ball, you've gone in this over 6.6. So if you follow that pattern, if you expect that pattern to continue, this should be 6. Let's see if that pattern holds. As it's going to be again Harsh Kakani. That's not going to be 6. It's driven down the ground to mid-on. A dot ball. A couple of dot balls together. I mentioned if you're going to build any pressure, it starts with building or bowling dot balls. Have a couple of them in a row here. Pressure doesn't exactly work as well when you've already conceded 12 runs in the over, but you at least want to get out of this over without further damage. So let's see what he's able to manufacture here, Mukhtar Ahmed. And here is Harsh Kakani. Up and over, and it's going to go close to the rope, and it gets there now. So absolutely brilliant batting by the aggressive opener, Mukhtar Ahmed, 16 runs come from the final ball, or 16 runs come from the over. 4 from the final ball off that over. And at the end of 4, the score is 42 without loss, and the Hurricanes are off to a flyer.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Now Lahiro Milanta looking to get into the act. Long run by Harmeet Singh. Look at that catch. What an absolutely brilliant catch by Harmeet Singh. Lahiro Milanta wanted to join his partner in hitting out, and that ball is skied towards mid-wicket. He ran backwards. Never easy to take a catch running and looking back over your shoulder. And Harmeet Singh absolutely pulls off a spectacular catch. He's a brilliant all-rounder. I talked about his bowling and his batting, but didn't exactly express how good he is in the field. But you saw evidence of it there. An absolutely brilliant catch to dismiss Lahiri Milanta. So the first wicket goes down, and 42 for 1 is your score. So the first over ball by Sankirth Batula went for 11 runs. Harmeet Singh was not happy with that over, immediately changed him, but he brings him back here, and his opening fast bowler rewards that confidence by immediately taking a wicket with the first ball of over number 5. So Sankirth Batula in amongst the wickets, and it is now Joshua Trump who is at the crease. Missed out yesterday. Was bowled by essentially a flipper, bowled by young Aryan Satish. And Joshua Trump will be more than motivated to make amends for not having done much with the bat in yesterday's game. So, Xforia Giants are a good bowling side, but Joshua Trump, I think, is going to be very motivated to make amends for yesterday's effort. 1 ball into over number 5. You're down to the last 95 balls. You need 86 runs. And here's Sankirth Batula. First ball to Joshua Trump. Immediately off the mark. Just casually riding the bounce, fending it into the leg side. And easily, immediately off the mark, Josh Trump. So the question to be asked, and I think I know the answer before I even ask it, is the approach by Mukhtar Ahmed going to be any different because of the fall of a wicket? My sense is that the answer to that question is no. He is almost always in see-ball, hit-ball mode. And I would think that if he sees something that he likes, he wants to latch on to it. Still inside the power play, so there's still another 10 deliveries, make that 12. Yep, 10 deliveries remaining in the power play. And here's Sankirth Batula. Looks to slash this one away. Looking back quizzically at umpire Myron James, but I think that's a fair call. That was not a wide. And so now down to the last 3 deliveries in his comeback over here for Sankirth Batula. 1 run conceded and has already taken a wicket. So much better over on the way here for him. He's going to want to close this one out in exactly the fashion in which he started it. And here's the tall, fast bowler again, now bowling to Mukhtar Ahmed. Anything in his zone, he will want to hit it. You'll have to keep it out of his zone. Smash. Where's that gone? Oh, he takes the catch. He bobbled it on the boundary. And look at Harmeet Singh running exactly up to Sankirth Batula. His reintroduction into the attack results in 2 huge wickets, removing both openers. Sankirth Batula has taken out Lahir Milantha and Mukhtar Ahmed both. And all of a sudden, the Hurricanes are wobbling. They're 43 for 2. Well, the captain, Saif Badar, is coming to the wicket in, as they say, a spot of bother. A rollicking start by the pair of Mukhtar Ahmed and Lahir Milantha, but both have been sent back. And all of a sudden, it is 2 new batters at the crease. Saif Badar has not yet faced. He's now on strike. Joshua Trump has faced 1 ball. He scored a run off that ball, but all of a sudden, it appears as though the match has taken on a different aura. And a stroke of genius, it turns out, by Harmeet Singh to bring back his opening fast bowler. And he has immediately justified that decision by taking 2 wickets, removing both openers. Boy, absolutely brilliant turn of events for the Dallas Xforia Giants. And, of course, if you're the Hurricanes, you're still well ahead of the game, but it's now going to be up to you to do what you can to not build any more pressure on yourself. Played off the back foot here, no run, and you're now down to the last ball in over number 5 with an absolutely brilliant comeback over here underway by Sankirth Batula. Has to finish strong here, but he's done exactly what his captain has wanted him to do. Imagine bowling an over inside the power play where you've only conceded 1 run and you've already taken 2 wickets. So tremendous bowling by Sankirth Batula. What is the last ball going to be, though? It has to keep it out of the zone. Here's that last ball. Defended, and they'll run through for, should be just 1, and that is all that they get is 1. What a brilliant over by Sankirth Batula. 2 runs come from it, and he took 2 wickets at the end of over number 5. The score is 44 for 2. So 5 overs up, 44 for 2 is your score. The Houston Hurricanes still well ahead of the required rate, and not only well ahead of the required rate, but ahead of the pace that was set by the Xforia Giants when they batted. This is Shubham Ranjani coming back in for his 2nd over. His first over was over number 3, an over in which he conceded 10 runs. I have an instant statistician behind me. Now bowling over number 6, the last over of the power play. Joshua Trump. Been there now for only 2 deliveries, which is to say he's only faced 2 deliveries. But as of now, you've gotten to the point where you're comfortably in position to weather the storm, no pun intended, because you're still well ahead of the game. After this ball will go through where both teams were at this exact stage. Good looking drive, but no run there. So a dot ball halfway through over number 6. At the end of the power play, the Dallas Xforia Giants had 29 runs. Oh, what happened here? Missed out what happened. That might have been driven right back to him. I don't think we saw exactly what happened. And unfortunately, he may be down. In fact, I can't even see who that is who's down. Oh, Shubham Ranjana himself. So was that ball struck right back at him? Okay, so missed it live in the media center here. We're a little square of the wicket, so it's a little bit hard to follow the action sometimes. But unfortunately for the Dallas Xforia Giants, Shubham Ranjana is down. And the question to be asked is he good enough to finish his over? So for those who are following, who are not familiar with the rules, if you start an over in cricket, in other words, if you start bowling an over, you have to complete that over. The only way you don't get to complete that over is if you are injured. And if you are injured, then you can have a teammate complete that over. Generally, when that happens, you do not want one of your main bowlers to be the one completing your over because, as I said yesterday, if you were listening, the maximum number of overs that you can bowl in a T20 match is 4. And so, for example, you would not want to give the ball to one of your, the over to one of your main bowlers because then, assuming that he has 2 overs left, you give him 3 balls to bowl in this over, then he could only bowl 1 other over in addition to those 3 balls. So effectively, you'd be reducing him from the attack by the margin of 3 balls, if that makes sense. So, but all of that aside, it looks as though, even though he's moving a little gingerly, he may be good enough to bowl, to continue bowling his over. He's at the top of his mark. And I think you're seeing that signal from umpire Sadiq Koja as an indication that they're probably okay. Or is he okay? Because now he's squatting down, and I think you're going to want to have a conversation here. Umpire Sadiq Koja, bottom of your screen, walking toward Shubham Ranjani. So he's definitely in some difficulty, and it may just be for purposes of getting through the first game of the season. It's not going to be a very long season, but you still have several games to go. I don't know that you don't just excuse yourself from the field, have somebody else finish your over, and then attempt to get into the ice bath a little early. Just again, looking at him moving very, very gingerly. But he still has the ball in hand, and I think that he's still going to want to continue. And yes, his body language says he's ready to go again, so let's see how well he does. Played in the mid-on area. So a little bit of an extended delay that time, but thankfully he is good enough, Shubham Ranjani, to be completing his over. I would think this is his second over. I would not be surprised if he were to get through the next 2 balls and then potentially have a teammate come onto the field for him while he gets himself checked out. Skied in the air toward deep mid-wicket. Long run, 2 bounces in vain. It goes for 4. So Joshua Trump finding the opportunity to attack the bowler who was wounded, and he cashes in with a boundary over deep mid-wicket. Oh, apologies. That was Saif Badar, okay? Well, they look exactly alike in my defense. Saif Badar. So Saif Badar plays that shot that I just described, even though I attributed it to Joshua Trump. Oh, by the way, we're in a position where the sun is now shining directly into the commentator's booth. So if I make a mistake, I'm giving you the reason from now. Last ball coming up, over number 6. And well defended by Saif Badar. That is the end of the over. 50 runs exactly come from the power play. And at the end of 6, you only have another 78 runs to go for victory as the Houston Hurricanes are looking to make it 2-2. We'll be right back.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, you saw what one left arm orthodox spinner did in his first delivery earlier in the match. Karthik Gatapale took a wicket with that first delivery, and now Harmeet Singh is going to see if he can sort of recreate that same effect. Brings himself on to bowl here outside of the power play, bowling to Joshua Trump. Left arm orthodox into Joshua Trump. Wow, that ball drifts in beautifully from around the wicket. Harmeet Singh can either bowl arm balls that go on with the arm and threaten the stumps, or he can bowl the one that turns away from the right-hander. So watch for his bag of tricks here. Absolutely brilliant all-rounder. And this is played into the leg side by Joshua Trump. You're now outside of the power play, so you can now see that there are a number of people outside the circle. You can have as many as 5. Those fielders outside the circle are down at long on and long off. Not surprising for a spinner. Also deep mid wicket, deep point. Those are your, and then deep square leg. So those are your 5 outside the circle. Everyone else inside the circle. This is just punched down the ground for a single, though. So excellent start with the ball for Harmeet Singh. And he generally can be difficult to score off of. Mentioned that he was the #1 draft pick in the minor leagues, in the major league draft a couple of years ago, a couple of seasons ago in the Clear Lake Johnson Space Center, leg by signal there by umpire Myron James. And now you're down to the last 2 deliveries here. Clipped to mid-wicket. That is going to be Saif Badar, who gets that one into that deep mid-wicket area. Good strong throw. And this now will be the last ball of over number 7. So good introduction into the attack for the captain himself. Last ball coming up. 74 runs needed from the next 71 balls. 79 balls, sorry. And that's played down the ground. Now you have 78 balls needed. And that is one of Joshua Trump's favorite scoring areas. That extra cover area just gets a single for it here. And that is the end of over number 7. Good one from Harmeet Singh. 5 runs come from it. Score after 7 is 55 for 2. Well, the only thing better than 1 left-arm orthodox spinner is 2 left-arm orthodox spinners. For Chaitanya Bishnoi into the attack. So double left-arm spin for the Dallas Xforia Giants. Joshua Trump and Saif Badar both batting together now. They've put on 12 runs already so far for the 3rd wicket. Chaitanya Bishnoi facing up to Joshua Trump, punching it down the ground. They may want a 2nd run. Don't think it was going to be there. You see Saif Badar wanting to come back for that 2nd run. You saw saw a couple of runouts yesterday. I don't think you want to see another runout in this match. And Joshua Trump, of all, will absolutely not want to see a runout. He saw his brother Matthew get run out yesterday, and he's not going to want to have that happen. Tossed up, good-looking delivery, curling in from outside the line of off stump, so he gets a little bit of drift going on with the arm, and then that ball pitches and turns a little bit away from the righty. So getting some purchase here from a couple of deliveries. Chetene Bishnoi tossed up, and again, similar type of delivery. This one is played into the offside. So the scoring rate has slowed down just a little bit. Scoring at the rate of 7.6, but bearing in mind you're only needing to score at the rate of 5.68. So from here, you need to get to the next 71 runs in the next 75 balls. And in theory, you should have no trouble getting to that total. Joshua Trump, in that same area that he likes, playing shots into that extra cover. In fact, that went behind point. So a single gets you now to 58. Another even 70 runs to go in the next 74 balls. So Dallas Xforia Giants again, batting first, scoring 127 runs. I think that was a slightly below par total. And so far, even with the loss of a couple wickets, you'd have to back the Houston Hurricanes' chances to overhaul that total. And this is played into the deep, long run. They want the second run. Coming back for that second run. Throw coming back into the bowler's end, but they'll get there without much fuss. Good couple of runs there. Good running between the wickets. Good commitment to running between the wickets, more importantly. And now the last ball is coming up in over number 8. Down to the last 73 balls of the innings, needing you're needing exactly 68 runs. Last ball coming up now from Chetene Bishnoi. Defended nonchalantly by the captain, Saif Badar. He has 11 runs against his name with 1 boundary. Joshua Trump, 6 from 10. The score after 8, 60 for 2. So the double spin or double left arm orthodox spin attack continues. Harmeet Singh bowling around the wicket to Joshua Trump. Just content now to do it in singles, the Houston Hurricanes. No need to take any chances. Lost a couple of wickets, but this partnership just building. They've put on together now 18 runs for the third wicket. Unbroken third wicket partnership so far. Saif Badar has gotten rid of the helmet, and he's comfortable batting in the sun hat, which tells you the speed of the bowler's bowling. Look at that beautiful delivery again. Curling in, though, and defended into the offside. They'll get 1. They've started really cashing in on these singles. There's a lot of singles that are being scored as of right now. There have been 21 singles played or scored by the Houston Hurricanes, which may sound counterintuitive, but that's actually very good batting. You're taking advantage of the opportunities that as they present themselves. So after that single, you've essentially gotten to the point where 35% of your runs are being scored in singles. And that tells you that they don't feel any urgency, nor do they need to at this stage. 5.65 and over is all you need to win. And so that tells you that a run a ball wins this match. And run a ball is really all that you need. If you get a bad ball, then you hit it back to Austin if you need to. But for the most part, all you're needing to do is get singles at this stage. And again, more intelligent batting. Just bunting this one down the ground. Long on is in position. One ball remaining here in over number 9. You're almost at the halfway stage of the innings, but you get the sense that you need to do something special here. By the way, you're exactly at 64 runs right now, which puts you at the exact halfway mark of the chase. 64 runs on the board, 64 needed. And he goes past the outside edge. A wave and a miss by Joshua Trump. Doesn't get anything on it. That is the end of the over. Over number 9 comes to a close. 4 runs come from that over. And the score after 9 is 64 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So 9 overs up, 64 for 2 is your score. Chaitanya Bishnoi, 1 over, conceded 5 runs. So between the two left-arm orthodox spinners, they are economical without being threatening. What I mean by that, Harmeet Singh's 2 overs have only cost him 4 runs per over. Chaitanya Bishnoi's over cost him 5, but they have not seemed like taking any wickets, and you need wickets at this stage to get back into this game. Here's Chaitanya Bishnoi. Tossed up. Oh, look at that turn. Turning away from the right-handed batters. This is good stuff. Mr. Mangesh Chowdhury has done an absolutely fantastic job at this facility. If you've not been to the Prairie View Cricket Complex in a while, I implore you to come to this facility. It is absolutely brilliant. Goes off the back foot again. This one gets into the outfield, so we'll get a single here. So they've now passed the halfway mark. And now the 63 runs needed in the next 64 balls. So that gives you a sense of how they're going. Now, I will say this. They've done it mostly in singles so far, but if you take a look at the required rate, it's sneaking upward. It's still under a run a ball, 5.91. And singles really are fine at this stage, but you may want to start thinking that you don't want to necessarily have to score a bunch of singles to win this game. You can do it in singles, but that brings the game all the way down to the 19th or the 20th over, and you might want to start thinking, number one, that you don't want to put that pressure on yourself, and then number two, as you go through the long season where issues like net run rate come into play, you might start wanting to think that you can put some distance between yourself and the rest of the division. Oh, that was not a single that he was attempting that time. He gets a single, Saif Badar, but he was looking for the big hit, no question. And that is a single effectively, but he was looking to go much bigger than that. Saif Badar now 14, make that 15 from 17 with 1-4. Joshua Trump, 9 from 14. No boundaries, 6s yet. 2 balls remaining before you get to the halfway stage of the innings. That is played away square. They get 1. Do they want 2? No. 2 not going to be there. My goodness. Umpire Myron James might consider himself lucky because he was almost exactly in line with that throw coming in from deep backward point. And luckily for him, he had ducked in anticipation of that ball potentially threatening him. And he's lucky that he ducked because he very well could have been hit. Last ball coming up here in over number 10. 68 runs on the board, another 60 needed in the next 61 balls. And do you have a big hit coming here? No big hit at all. Playing just easy as you like. Down the ground for just a single. That is a single that closes things out in over number 10. And over that sees you score 5 runs. 25 come from the last 5. So the scoring at a very, let's call it, less than aggressive rate. At the end of 10, 69 for 2 is your score.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Okay, Harmeet Singh continuing. 2.1 overs on the board so far. Fires this one through more quickly. Wanted to go for the big shot there, Joshua Trump. And he chooses to not go or doesn't make contact. So a single to start things off in over number 10, followed by a dot ball. Harmeet Singh into his third. So the spin attack is working for now, but your two premier spinners, each of them have gotten through either the halfway point or past the halfway point of their spell. So more than happy thus far to do it in singles. At some point, you're going to have to see a change in strategy, because even though Harmeet Singh now bowling over number 11 and has gotten to the point where he's restricted the scoring, it still is the case that no wickets have fallen for a while. This partnership is building, and it will be interesting to see how much it continues building. As of right now, you're looking at a partnership that is worth 29. After that single, it is now worth 30. And without the ability to build pressure, and with the batters just content to milk the ball around, stealing singles all over the place, that I think will put you in the position where you're feeling the match slowly drip away from you. Yet another single down to deep extra cover. No, yeah, it is a single. They wanted maybe to think for a split second about another run there, but they settled for one. So the third over from Harmeet Singh comes to an end. Only 5 runs come from that over, but importantly, it is the case that he only has 1 over left, and he doesn't have much longer to be able to impact the game with the ball in hand. End of 11, 74 for 2. Chaitanya Bishnoi to continue. Beautiful delivery, just curling into the batter and then played into the offside for stop me if you've heard this before, another single. So I will tell you, from your perspective in this match, the Houston Hurricanes are doing what the coaches would want you to do, just essentially putting their heads down and getting singles. That wins you the game. It does mean that no boundaries have scored for a very long time, I think since the 6th over, and that goes directly to extra point. Harmeet Singh in that position cuts that one off. So the last 5 overs have yielded 24 runs. The scoring rate is slowly falling. The required rate is now above 6. So it is now the case that every ball being hit for a single will lose you this game. You now have more runs to get than balls in which to get them. Another 53 runs needed from the 51 balls remaining. And so at some point, you don't have to start hitting fours and sixes, but a sense of urgency would seem to be called upon at some point soon. In the air, and it's going toward deep extra cover, and it goes away for 4. And my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, stop the presses. We have a 4. That is the first in the last, help me, 6 or 7 overs that we've had a 4. And it gets you to the point now where the required rate is, with that 1 stroke, back under 6. And again, we're making an issue of this simply because it's a mathematical reality that a single from every ball from this point on can win you the game. That is a brilliant, brilliant ball, though. Chetani Bishnoi getting one to bite and turn past the outside edge of Joshua Trump's bat. Partnership now worth 36 runs. And in 36 runs, that puts you in the position where you're pushing toward the target here. And Chetani Bishnoi has only 1 ball remaining in his 3rd over. So between he and Harmeet Singh, the 2 left-arm spin specialists, they only have 2 overs left between them. So it'll be interesting to see if Harmeet Singh chooses to bowl himself out. Oh, going off the back foot and powering this deep over, wide, long on, and it goes away for 6. So all of a sudden, you had a bunch of singles for several overs in a row, but then a 4 and then a 6 in this over from the bat of Joshua Trump. That makes it the biggest over that you've seen in a while. 11 runs coming from that over. The score after 11 is, after 12, is 85 for 2. We just had an English lesson here in the, the commentators area. Sankir Batula. So that answers the question of whether or not Harmeet Singh would have bowled himself out. He chooses to hold himself back. Oh, outside edge. Did he take that? No, he did not take the catch. It goes away for 4. Insult to injury. That was an edge, genuine edge. Found the edge of his bat. But a diving, despairing dive by wicketkeeper Prathamesh Pawar couldn't quite get to it. And it goes off the edge and goes away for 4. Saif Badar now 24 from 23 with 2 fours, one a little bit more convincing than the other. Now this does mean, though, that you only have another 39 runs to get in the next 47 balls. Here's Sankit Batula again. And Saif Badar down the track. That looks like a better shot. Not going to get 4 for it, just a couple, but a much more confident strike. Stepping to the pitch and elevating that ball over the top of mid-on. So you get the sense that they both batters feel that they are needing to put together something of note here and close this game out. They're up to 91, 37 runs needed in the next 46 balls. Play it into the offside or into the leg side. They'll get 1. Should just be that 1. 36 runs needed, my apologies, in the next 45 balls. And by the way, the partnership now worth 49. So this pair has batted together sensibly. Again, did it very conservatively for the last several overs, but now seem to be putting themselves in the position where they're going to accelerate. Joshua Trump, scoop shot over the keeper's head. Where did that go? Oh, good stop down on the boundary. Did he stop it in time? I think that's Chaitanya Bishnoi down there. And they'll get 1 run. And that 1 run gets you to a 50 partnership. Excellent, excellent work from these two very experienced batters. And even though Joshua Trump is on the younger side and Saif Badar, not exactly an old man himself, have put together a really good innings. And the partnership is doing exactly what you need it to do, by the way. So Saif Badar himself is 26 years old. So he's not exactly old. But Joshua Trump, 19. But these two have put together a really solid partnership. This is now the last ball of over number 13. 93 runs on the board, 35 needed in the next 43 balls. So once again, you get the sense that you're back in control of this game. Short, slow ball into the pitch, and it is pulled to square leg. Field is set perfectly for that exact shot. And a decent over and 9 runs coming from it. At the end of over number 13, the score is 94 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Into over number 14. Oh, this is skied into the deep on a diving attempt out there. Not successful. It goes away for 4. So the first ball of the last over being bowled here by Chaitanya Bishnoi goes away for 4. And this partnership continues to grow. Partnership between Saif Badar and Joshua Trump. Now worth 55 runs. And this pair seems to be grabbing the bull by the horns and taking this game away from the Dallas Xforia Giants. Partnership worth 55 does mean that Saif Badar is now up to 20, make that 32 from 28 with 3 4s. Josh Trump, 23 from 24 with 1 4 and 1 6. And here is Chaitanya Bishnoi again. I'll tell you what, played right back to the bowler. Joshua Trump may consider himself lucky there. Had that ball been deflected back onto his stumps, he would have been short of his crease at the non-striker's end. But live to fight another day. 40 balls remaining and another 30 runs to get. 4.5 and over is what you need the rest of the way. Advancing down the track and just playing it straight down to long on. No risk in that shot whatsoever. Maybe it's a slight element of risk. He's playing technically across the turn, but he got close enough to the ball on the bounce that that ball did not necessarily have the opportunity to turn before he played the shot. So a single down the ground, 99 runs on the board. So just another single to take you over the half century, or over the century mark. And then from that point, you'd only need another 28 to win. Chaitanya Bishnoi once again. Josh Trump plays it off the back foot. Extra cover is in the area, no run there. And it feels that had you had the technology where we had a wind predictor, the wind predictor would seem to have the Houston Hurricanes on the way to winning this. Off the back foot, he nails this. They get to the 100 with an absolutely brilliant 6 off of the bat of Joshua Trump. That was absolutely hammered. You're over 100. You've gotten to the point now where you only need another 23 in the next 37 balls. And look at those two punching fists together because they know that the hard work is done. Partnership now worth 62. They're going on and pushing on toward what they believe is going to be, I would think, a convincing victory somewhere in over number 18 or so. Last ball for Chaitanya Bishnoi. Josh Trump skies it, did not get all of it. And it's down on the boundary and taken it long off. So Joshua Trump knows that he did not make the connection on that he wanted to. Maybe a rush of adrenaline wanting to finish this game in time. And wasn't quite there to the pitch of that ball. And it ends up peeling off the outer edge of the bat. And it carries all the way down to long off, who settles under it and takes a decent catch. So maybe much of the damage has already been done, but you probably would have wanted for this pair to see through. The last ball of Chaitanya Bishnoi's spell produces a wicket. Matthew Trump is coming in to replace his brother Josh. That is the end of 14. The score is 105 for 3. Harmeet Singh coming in to bowl his last over. And he'll be bowling to Saif Badar. Saif Badar is on 33 from 30 balls with 3 fours. Matthew Trump has not yet faced the ball. He just replaced his brother Josh. Played into the offside. Oh, a clean pickup there could potentially have caused trouble at the striker's end. But they get there without much fuss. A bit of a fumble in the outfield. And so immediately a single taken here by Saif Badar. So now Matthew Trump will be taking over, changing out one Trump brother for the other. And now down to the last 22 runs needed in the next 35 balls. Where you are now, looking at where Harmeet Singh is, this is his last over. Here he is now bowling to Matthew Trump, well down the leg side. That's going to be signaled wide. So Harmeet Singh bowling over number 15. 5 overs remaining after this. You would think that Harish Kakani, Shubham Ranjani, and Sankirth Badtula would be the ones who would be tasked with completing the work with the ball. But at the same time, you're only 22 runs away from victory here for the Hurricanes. So the question to be asked is, which of the bowlers left would be most likely to prevent you from getting to that target? Because obviously with a relatively meager total that you're chasing, any attempt to challenge for that total would have to include you taking wickets. And so the question you'd be asking yourself is, which bowlers who are left are more than likely to take wickets for you? Off the back foot here, past the fielder, diving at extra cover. Do they want a second run? No, not going to be there. So this feels essentially like you're working toward a pretty straightforward victory. Earlier I had said maybe in about over number 18. With the fall of the wicket, you get the sense it may go a little bit deeper than that. But still, your money would be on the Houston Hurricanes to come through and complete what, in their mind, would be a pretty straightforward victory. Harmeet Singh to continue. Played down the ground. Just a single. Pretty straightforward in the end. 110 runs is what you're looking at on the board. And that means that all you need to win in the next 5 overs is another 18 runs. In theory, a walk in the park. We'll be right back. So the last 5 overs, this is going to be, I believe, Shubham Ranjane. He has bowled so far 2 overs, overs 3 and 6. And you saw where he was hurt earlier, but appears to be good enough to continue here. We'll be bowling to Matthew Trump. Matthew Trump, 2 from 4. Was run out yesterday for 7. So not too many runs to be scored today, but I think he wants to finish not out. Played this one into, in fact, right back to the bowler himself, no run. So just again, another 18 runs needed in what in theory would be a pretty comprehensive victory here for the Houston Hurricanes, holding the Dallas Xforia Giants to 128 to 127. Required excellent bowling and excellent fielding. I think you saw that from them when they were in the field. And then a clinical performance so far with the bats. Oh, looking to slash this away, not making any contact, Matthew Trump. So a couple of dot balls. Don't think it's the kind of situation where you would feel any pressure building, but you want to get back to ball. You want to start feeling like you're making some progress toward the match ending with your head held high. And certainly you'd want to finish not out is what I would think. This is off the outside edge, goes to short third. They'll get a single there. So Matthew Trump gets off of strike. Just 3 runs against his name. The partnership, minuscule. 6 is the partnership as of right now. You don't need a whole lot. In fact, you only need 17 more runs. Those of us here in the commentary area would love 3 6s in the next 3 balls, and we all go home happy. But more to the point, I think you just want to finish the match strongly if you're the Hurricanes. And this is the captain himself playing this one down the ground. Saif Badar has put together a brilliant inning so far. 36 from 33 with 3 boundaries. And when you've gotten to the point where the hard work has been done, and essentially you're looking to see what the final result is going to be more than you are knowing who is going to win. From this standpoint, it would have to be a victory for the Hurricanes that's on tap. Quick single here. The Houston Hurricanes, again, won yesterday's game pretty easily. Oh, well, actually, not pretty easily. It was back and forth for a while. Came down to the last ball, but they held their nerve at the end to win against the Lone Star Athletics by the margin of 4 runs, if memory serves correctly. And then this should be a pretty straightforward victory whenever it is that they finish. Played down the ground again, and it's just a single down to long off. That should complete over number 16. 4 runs coming from it. No stress, no pressure. At the end of 16, the score is 114 for 3.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So 16 overs in the books. I've just been reprimanded in the commentators area. I said, if memory serves correctly, the Houston Hurricanes won by 4 runs yesterday. Well, I was way off. I was off by a whole run. They won by 3 runs. Sanketh Batula back into the attack. Harmeet Singh fields this one as extra cover as they take yet another single. And again, this has been a clinical chase. Haven't needed to take any risks, and they have not taken any risks. And as of right now, the partnership, which is now up to double figures, it's worth 10 runs at this stage. But they don't have a lot of work to do. 13 more runs required. Matthew Trump at the wicket on strike, facing up to the strike bowler, Sanketh Batula, into his last over. Goes for the big drive, wide of long on. Long on gets a long run, but does enough. I believe that is Chaitanya Bishnoi down there. So 2 singles to start over in number 17. Potentially this match could be finishing in any time in the next, I don't know, over and a half. Still need another 12 runs. Maybe you want to finish with a flourish, but I think the point is, there's a flourish I was looking for, but doesn't exactly strike it in the way that he wanted to. Gets it down to deep mid-wicket. So 3 singles to start this last over. Matthew Trump, 6, make that 5 from 9. Saif Badar, 39 from 36. And with that dot ball, you're down to the last 20 balls of the innings, 11 runs needed. So it's a study in contrasts. Yesterday's match came all the way down to the last ball. You had no idea who was going to win. Both teams had a chance to win on the last ball. This match, essentially, the result has been determined for a while, and that is slashed to backward point. No run there. And this match essentially has been decided for a while. The only question to be asked is which team or in which over are the Hurricanes going to win it, and by how big a margin. So they'll end up winning probably by either 7 or 6 wickets. Played into the short mid-wicket area. That is a dot. That is the end of over number 17. Last 3 coming up. 11 runs needed. Score is 117 for 3. So, last 3 coming up. This is going to be Harish Kakani taking up the attack from the highway end. We're looking directly into the sunshine here, so it's a little bit difficult to identify each bowler. But anyway, either way, only 11 runs are needed. And once again, the question to be asked is in which over it is going to be finishing. Worked into the onside. Goes for a single. And this now does feel like essentially the end of a net session. There's no intrigue left in this match whatsoever. And these players are essentially at this stage going through the motion. Going through the motion. Down to the last 10 balls. This is flicked away into the deep. This is fielded at deep backward square by Abhinav Chowdhury. So yet another single. That puts you in a position now where there are only only 9 runs needed for victory. 119 is your score. Harish Kakani played back to the bowler himself. Doesn't field it cleanly, but not able to get a run there. And so now, down to the last 15 balls. How many of those balls will you need for victory? Only 8 runs needed. Make that 9 runs needed. 8 needed for a tie, 9 needed for victory. Partnership now worth 14. And Harish Kakani again steaming in from the highway end down the leg side. That's going to be a wide signal by umpire Sadiq Koja. And you at this stage would take 8 runs of any flavor, whether they be a 6 and a 2, whether they be 2 4s, whether they be 4 leg bys and 4 wides. You'll take anything at this stage just so this mercy killing can be put into effect. Going now back to Harish Kakani. Reaches for this one, slaps it into the outfield. The sweeper in the covers does the cleanup work. Again, a comprehensive victory here on the way. We're only 7 runs away from victory here for the Houston Hurricanes. And it feels like, again, as much as the match yesterday came down to the wire, this one is essentially petering out into a tame victory for the Houston Hurricanes. Goes for the big hit. Where's that gone? All the way for 6. Matthew Trump, he got the memo. And that stroke ties up the game. The next run of any flavor puts us out of our misery. 127 for 3 is your score. 1 ball remaining here in over number 18. And if you please, Mr. Trump, get any kind of run at this stage, and we will all be going home happy. So 127 for 8 is what the Dallas Xforia Giants were able to get to. As of right now, with 13 balls remaining in the innings, 127 for 3 is what the Hurricanes have. And with that dot ball, it does mean that you're going to have to go into over number 19. I would imagine that you don't need to waste one of your strike bowlers here. You can just toss the ball to one of your part-timers, have any kind of run be the result, and then we all go home happy. Really good game at this stage, as you can see, maybe out of reach of the camera, but all of the players for the Houston Hurricanes are lining up on the boundary ropes, about ready to come onto the field and congratulate their teammates. Saif Badar really batted well, 41 from 39 with 3 4s. Matthew Trump making some amends for yesterday. Again, didn't have the opportunity to bat very long today because when he came in, they only needed a few runs. 22-run partnership is what they've put together so far. And as of right now, the bowler is going to be... See who the bowler is going to be. Shubham Ranjani. Okay, so they not only did they not use a part-timer. Our producer Roddy is asking a really good question. What exactly could you be discussing at this stage? Everyone is coming into the circle. Not sure why you would not have already done that. And are we sure that's Shubham Ranjani? Okay, Shubham Ranjani coming in. This should, in theory, be the last ball of the match. Nope, it goes straight to extra straight to extra cover. And the slow water torture continues. Shubham Ranjani, who, may I remind everybody, was injured earlier. So there's really no reason to have him be the one bowling, knowing that all you need is one run. And any run of any kind wins this game. So let's see what this next ball is like. And no run there. A couple of dot balls to start over number 19. Is it possible that we have a maiden? What if we had 2 consecutive maidens and needed to play super over? I'm actually not praying for that to happen. Ball 3. Quick single taken. Throw is not in time. The Houston Hurricanes win this by the margin of 7 wickets. Saif Badar fittingly hits the winning runs and gets his strike rate exactly at 100 at the same time. 42 from 42 with 3 boundaries. So quick look through the scorecard. Lahir Milanta 5 from 6. Mukhtar Ahmed 35 from 21. He in particular set the tone early. Joshua Trump batted smartly and with intelligence, 29 from 27, 1 4 and 2 sixes. Saif Badar, top scoring, 42 from 42 with 3 boundaries. Matthew Trump supplying the finishing touches at the end as well, 12 from 15 with that 1 big 6. The bowlers didn't have very many runs to defend, so unfortunately for them, while they bowled well, necessarily didn't really give any or apply any pressure. Sankirti Batula, 4 overs, 2 for 25, the best of the bowlers so far, or at least the best of the bowlers in the innings. Harsh Kakanda, 3 overs, none for 31. Shubham Ranjani, 3.3 overs, none for 21. 4 overs bowled for Harmeet Singh and Chaitanya Bishnoi, both economically, but only 1 wicket by Chaitanya Bishnoi, and he got sort of taken apart in his last over. So that becomes the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here from the Prairie View Cricket Complex for Minor League Cricket 2024, presented by Yash Technologies, where the Houston Hurricanes take victory by the margin of 7 wickets. That is the end of the action. Join us on the MILC network for the action through the rest of the season. Tomorrow's match will be from the from the Musa Cricket Complex in Pearland. Join us for that tournament or for that match, and then later on next weekend when the matches will continue. For now, signing off from Prairie View. Good night and good luck. It's not something that you'd want to do. This is helped around the corner. Mukhtar Ahmed is not going to play one. Make that 2 balls remaining in over number 1. Looks to smash this one away square, and it's going to go away for 4. Time you have to make sure you are Harsh Kakani. Skied in the air right here toward us, and that goes for 6. That went on those types of loose balls. Full toss, and where's that gone? Lofted down the ground. It went for 6 more. Harsh Kakani up and over, and it's going to go close to the rope, and it gets there now. Now Lahir Milanta looking to get into the act. Long run by Harmeet Singh. Look at that catch. What? You'll have to keep it out of his zone. Smash. Where's that gone? Oh, he takes the catch. He bobbled it. Skied in the air toward deep mid-wicket. Long run, 2 bounces in vain. It goes for 4. Be called upon at some point soon. In the air, and it's going toward deep extra cover, and it goes away for 4. And my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, stop the press. It'll be interesting to see if Harmeet Singh chooses to bowl himself out. Oh, going off the back foot and powering this deep over, wide, long on, and it goes away for 6. So all of it bowled himself out. He chooses to hold himself back. Oh, outside edge. Did he take that? No, it did not take the catch. It goes away for 4. Into over number 14. Oh, this is skied into the deep on a diving attempt out there. Not successful. The Houston Hurricanes on the way to winning this. Off the back foot, he nails this. They get to the 100 with an absolutely brilliant 16 or so. Last ball for Chitene Bishnoi. Josh Trump skies it, did not get all of it. And it's down on the boundary and taken it long off. So Joshua Trump knows that he did not make the out into a tame victory for the Houston Hurricanes. Goes for the big hit. Where's that gone? All the way for 6. Matthew Trump, he got the memo. And that stroke ties up the game. Not praying for that to happen. Ball 3. Quick single taken. Throw is not in time. The Houston Hurricanes win this by the margin of 7 wickets. Saif Badar fittingly.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.